is watching us from her little corner. Jala Jalahu SB Sandy is also watching us as well. So Jalahu says if I pronounce his name, he's gonna give me a prize, but I didn't see that part of pronouncing his name, so I've said it twice for you, Jalahu. Jerome Roberts is watching. Deconti Murray SK is watching us from GSA Road. Jacob Saki Jr. is following us from Totota. Bon County Camilla Scott is also watching us as well. So I'll just leave it at that, and we'd love to say welcome again to everybody watching. We cannot read out all of the comments, but at least we did what we could have done. So you can go ahead.
Okay, so Minister Fagon, are you there? There you go.
So Magic, just help
Magic, can you please put Minister Fagon on?
So Minister Fagon on the show.
Okay. Minister Fagon.
I'm watching you and Damo.
Yeah, these are the Wekosu.
Minister Fagon, how you coming on?
Just leave me like that. No problem.
You are muted. You are muted.
I'm not muted. You're talking, I can't talk.
Check this.
Isn't that why you put me in the corner?
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
I come to your in different studio, one in cruise control, the other one in Spoon News.
Like your business.
You get tongue behind you, the other man get pitch.
Dama is here.
But who told you to send birthday greetings to a winner bride?
Damo.
Wow, is she indicted for not being sent birthday requests?
No. Dama, there are just certain towns when you go in. Ask who the chief then there. Don't just yell that you know chief. And now why you there? Now you don't spot a whole thing. If I say I won't say we not bright birthday greeting, it will look like you tell me.
But I didn't tell you anything though. My hands are up.
But why would tell you to announce it? Who gave you that authority?
Okay, I take it back.
Okay. Take it back.
A birthday tree that I sent to you, do I say happy birthday to you? But I'm taking it back. Do enjoy your day though, but I'm taking it back.
So you taking it back? It's a tweet. So witchcraft picking in the studio. I gotta keep my eye on y'all. Because I sat down behind here for 30 minutes. You're two just talking about Zoglo. You know what I call Zoglo? You know, let me be frank with y'all.
I'm the one.
I have not seen the worms that you guys are talking about.
I can send the pictures.
And probably they will morph into caterpillars. But lest we forget that it's a dietary staple from Nimba that goes in the GB. You know about it, Chairman Brown?
Oh, yes.
And when I ate a Loma Posi, then they just running away instead of calling the Lima Posi, your issue here.
It weighs.
It weighs. You can't collect it. And then when the Lima Posi, when they see the grasshopper, then they call it Loma Posi after Wagi P. That's how it's supposed to be. But anyway, I wasn't here for the briefing. I don't know what the situation is. I heard you guys talk about the breach.
Yes.
Thanks to Spoon, we talked about it last night. We made specific reference to Asila Mitton jumping all over that breach. And they can't even go there to help. Thankfully, today they went there, they took a look. That's good. I heard the Public Works Minister say, no need for concern. If the bearing under the bridge is gone and a truck with about 25 tons go over it, what will we have? Nah, we can't go that route. But I was in here, man. What you think trending, Baron?
Well, so today, the Senate Joint Committee on Lands, Mines, Natural Resources, and Environment, Labor and Concession paid a fact-finding mission to, what's the name of the area? The Western Cluster. In Bomi County, some senators, they were there today. They visited that area. And there were some journalists. Spoon TV was also there and covered the Spoon also covered that identical program. According to some of the senators who were there, they went in their wars to do a fact findings about all these water wars, the controversies over, Western clusters in that identical, county in Bombay County. So that's what happened today. And I know you've been following, some of the trending issues concerning the Western cluster deal, the water wars. So that's what happened today, Minister Fagon.
So again, you said the tour, but you didn't give us the purpose for the tour.
Yeah, the controversies, how iron ore live in the country, iron ore live in the country, what are the information that you bad labor practices, what are the company paying the people there. So that's why the senators went there today, some of the senators, according to our reporters who were there, because we had a reporter who went there today. Aaron, he did a fantastic job. He was there and he covered our scene.
Do you have a list of who were some of the senators?
According to Aaron,
one thing we could do, we could get people call into the program. We could get Kuben on the line to give us a short report, 3 minutes at least, to tell us what he saw there, what happened there. And if you can do that quickly, that your man. You just call him, you plug it in, say, Kuben, tell us what happened out there.
I'm on the red now.
Lamin would like to welcome Councillor Lamik Pagoy. And I'd like to welcome the former CEO, Stanton A. Witherspoon. He just got a haircut. I don't see why Sabu people can go call hair. I don't even understand. You get Sabu hair already, then you go call your hair. Brian, you get boy hair, I already know.
Yeah, I get boy hair.
So when you get Sabu, you shouldn't call your hair?
But what do you mean of Sabu? It mean no hair.
So, but it can be patchy. So you don't want to be patchy?
I see why you're looking like that. You two don't go there. Well, if anybody think they will see me to Baba Shah, they can lead that story.
So what do you do with your hair? So what do you
I've been cutting my own hair for 20 years.
Huh?
I've been cutting my own hair for over 20 years.
I do the same thing too. Because I'm not cutting stars. So what do you use of me going to Baba Shah?
What they use? If I feel like, and look at he lay your hair so late, now grease shiny over there, my friend. I mean, they're eating your money for nothing. Grease.
No, but
I mean, you gotta keep. I'm looking fresh, right?
No, he said you don't have hair, but you look like you got hair. Maybe you don't just grow your hair.
No, it's bald face. That's all. Just trim it.
Like me, I don't want to tell you. Been in there talking in Power Shop. Why you doing in Power Shop? That free money, that's Sabu here. You get your boy shining like that off on the side.
So
you carry it.
The barbers should actually allow Sabu here people to get free cut.
You know that the poor who hair hard to cut because
let me ask a question though. What's really going on, Fagon?
Where?
I'm looking through my window, right? Like me. It's very cloudy and smoky. You can smell the smoke. I don't know if you are watching from New Jersey, New York, maybe the New England side, or Delaware, Maryland, Washington, D.C., something strange is happening, Fagon. They're saying that the smoke coming from Canada, but it's very thick. I hope it's not Judgment Day coming though.
No, maybe something burning.
You will be the first to go.
So you should probably keep your windows closed.
No, we are wearing face masks right now. Nobody said stay away from out there and just but it's crazy. It's smelling so bad.
The funny thing about I go call it man say, Fagon, you don't understand. That's why we used to run through the cassava farm. We still roasting our tin. We roasting our
smoke.
But it's kind of
different.
That different smoke. That's what I told you. You want a chemical smoke.
And listen, and we are smelling the chemical. I'm dead serious. And I hope, tell the children to just stay indoors. We have to say this. Pennsylvania, I mean, there was a delay. New York delayed. Newark, every airport right now around here, they have a serious delay. But we just need to tell everyone, please, the young children, the old people, let them stay indoors. It's very, very important. We have to say it. The smoke is scary. If you can pray, start praying to God to forgive your sin. Maybe that judgment day coming, or maybe that Leo Napoleon from Canada caused this fire. And I'm hearing maybe it's Leo. But again, this thing is serious. Stay home. Put your face mask on. You don't know what's happening. It's very, very serious. You want me to put the camera outside? I'm saying I'm going to stay indoor. You want me to go outside to show you the weather? I mean, you ready? Eh? But yeah, you mind? You say, see, you put the camera outside. I'm putting no camera outside. Just stay indoor, man. We're going to open the phone line shortly. We want to hear from you. If you are in Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, Washington, D.C., just tell us what is happening at your end. This is about America. This is about Liberians here. If you are okay, we're just asking you, let us know what's happening. It's a serious fire situation happening from Canada, and the wind is bringing the smoke on this end of the country. So we just need to ready just talk about it briefly. Fagon, the next thing that on my mind I'd like to say, surprisingly today, Mike Pence declared that he's running to be president, and his boss, Councilor Lamik Bako, man, no, Mo Ali friend, Donald Trump, also running to be president. So I'm kind of like, Fagon, just real quick, let's talk internationally. Tell us something real quick. Help our people. What do you think these guys and Chris Christie, Mike Pence, Ron DeSantis from Florida, but Donald Trump is stopping with 54% of the vote right now. Why do you think the people moving towards Donald Trump with everything this guy have on his head? Real quick, let's talk international. I know Councilor Lamik Bako love the international news. Well, let's just chip into it while you get your guys ready.
Well, for me, what I see is that Trump had a slip with the management of COVID. You and I know that. He went alongside the Republican ideals when it comes to cutting costs, saving monies, reducing government, and he didn't pay attention to the experts. Those of us who schooled in this country and know very well, the Republicans are not into the too much scientific issue and this whole policy of global solutions. So you see what they do with climate change. And that same sort of attitude was taken over to the COVID-19 pandemic. And what's his name? The little old man.
Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, Dr.
Fauci.
Yeah, Fauci. Dr. Fauci will say this and Trump will say that, and it was very costly, over 1 million lives. And so his popularity shrunk. Other than that, the way he was handling the situation globally and economically, many Americans thought he did well because it was all about the American interests, not Liberia, not Ukraine, not any, just America. And again, we are looking at world politics. And amongst Republicans, or if you like, conservatives, they think he deserves a second chance. So unless something dramatic happens, he's not going to drop in the polls. Now you got Chris Christie, you got the other guy, Haggard or something. You also got Pence, you got DeSantis, all these people. But Trump, by American electoral history, has got the experience. He has been there, done that. So from a conservative standpoint, the preference is tilting towards him. And if nothing happens legally to prevent him, he will become the nominee, in my opinion.
So, you know, Counselor, I think you follow the news religiously because you are all the time talking about Fox News and other media outlets. Yeah. Today, we also learned that the CEO for CNN have been removed and they replaced him with another lady. But let's just come back to this thing. And I want you to tell us how this helped our country situation today, since we are working towards election, Counselor.
So talking about the
Yes.
Republican field,
Yes, sir.
I mean, I don't think right now. I don't think the U.S. election has any real impact on our elections. Is more. It will have more of an impact on the Ukrainian war, depending on who wins. Especially if Trump wins, it may have a seismic impact on that war as opposed to any other foreign policy issue in the world. Probably maybe a little bit about Iran also and the Saudi Iranian relationship that is touring presently. It may have some impact on that. But when it comes closer to whom, I doubt it will have any direct impact. The situation in our country will continue being controlled by the embassy in Liberia, to some extent, the State Department desk that is responsible for West Africa, and individual Congress members. But let's go back to the Republican Party. Mr. Trump obviously is ahead. He's going to win the nomination if he doesn't get indicted. And the reason why you see all those people jumping in the race right now, the Christies, the Pences, and all those people jumping in the race, they are hoping that Mr. Trump gets indicted and he cannot run. So as a result, the fallout from that benefits them. And that's the reason why you see all of them tipping to around directly attacking him for the time being. Even DeSantis is finding it difficult to attack him because they are hoping that when he leaves the stage because of legal problems that seem to be mounting all over the place, then they will benefit from the fallout. So I don't think the elections in America are going to have any direct impact on what happens here. We are not a real significant player on the world stage presently. It's been a long time since we're any significant player on the world stage. So international elections, we have very little to do with what happened here. Whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, the way you govern locally will determine how they will interact with you. You know, people argue all the time that Mr. Weah has not been invited to the White House, for example. I mean, it all has to do with how they think you are governing. You know, your governance of your country will determine how they interact with you. It has really nothing to do with. I mean, we are not of strategic interest in my own thinking. We are not of strategic interest to the United States. You know, I spent a little time in Washington D.C. when I was with the National Endowment for Democracy. I was a research scholar at the National Endowment for Democracy, and I mean, at the NED, you interact with plenty different people. You know, I had interactions with like the former U.S. ambassador to Nigeria in South Africa. You know, those are two very important diplomatic posts on the African continent. If somebody is ambassador to Nigeria at one point, and then that same person is also ambassador to South Africa, that person is now a small person in the Washington D.C. cycle. So I mean, I had conversations with him at the time I was there about Liberia, you know, just to gauge the thinking about the country, and I wasn't really. I mean, at the time was necessary.
My thing is that, but by the way, though, I think we're waiting for the guy from Centel. So if you can
And
just,
he's going to come on whenever we want for him to come on, he will come on.
but how is he coming on? Did you send him the link?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So Mo, are you with us? Mo just went off. So again, where is Gibson? Is he here tonight?
He probably will come on later on.
All right, and how you call him, Fadika, Dr. Richardson will be joining us later on also. Fagon, I know this is your show, but it's very important, man. The people saying they want to call to tell us about their state concerning the smoke. My take on Donald Trump, it is why it is. I think the folks love Donald Trump. But again, as an independent from Liberia, here in America, I have no fish to fry, and we just let it be. But if you
independent, even if you independent.
If all of you were voting, who will you vote for?
Where in America?
US, yeah.
Yeah, if I had the chance to vote in America, I would not vote.
But why?
Oh, because my attention is back home more than here in America.
Even in local elections? Because
Nah,
election in
nah.
America is a lot local.
Yesterday
So-
they had the local. Yesterday they had the local primary where people trying to get into the council seat, the mayor seat, and whatsoever. But
So
I
even that
didn't.
doesn't interest you.
Nah, nah. I mean,
Wow.
this people system here is very unique. I just believe that we should focus, our attention to Liberia and do that which is right. The people have the system. Uh, the governor, the president, they are just there, but the people have the system. See what
Yeah,
happened to Donald Trump. So
I noticed, when I was in San Diego at one point, and I did some work for a newspaper there called The Voice of San Diego. So at the time, the mayoral elections were ongoing, and a congressman left Congress and went back to San Diego to run to be mayor. And at that time, I kind of really understood how American politics is. It's kind of more local than it is,
it
you know,
is.
national
It
level.
is local, like where we are, because election around the corner. The state just gave the city 1.4 million others to go back and do their parks and recreate, and that's why the city gonna get money. People gonna be interested, things will be happening, and it is why it is. But the people have the budget, they have the money, they have the system. Let's just talk about Liberia a little bit now while we move. uh, I don't know whether we have him more Ali or you just left. Let me ask you, Fagon, you had your podcast today. You touched on different things, man. And I hope that Diamond get it ready, that we can show some of the things that you talk about. You went so hard. Edwin Snow, you brought about his home and other individuals. Why, Fagon? Why you think it's relevant to the election now? Why you think it is so relevant and people need to know about Edwin Snow home?
Well, first and foremost, let's start with Billity.
Okay.
You did not want us to talk about Billity last night. But in 2013, Billity was accused of the same thing. And he came back and said, I only owe 165,000. It was in the New Democrat. The date is there, the paper is there, the volume, everything is there. 10 years later down the road, you are even bigger than who you are, fatter than who you were, rather, bigger than who you were, now have got more money than ever before. You brag of buying 250 pickup trucks, building a party headquarters, financing political parties and candidates, and you cannot pay our money. But you beat your chest like a champion. And if you were owing 165 then, how much do you owe today? Have you been paying since 2013? But yet, you show us a picture of your home, not the one in Monrovia, but the one in Saclay, that you say you are moving in early next year, and that it is nearing completion. All these things you brag about, but you have 5.9 million road fund, and according to you, you only owe 165,000. Only for us to go deep behind you, you said the same damn thing in 2013, and it's 10 years now. So why are you bragging about your 250 pickup trucks and your houses and your headquarters and your wealth? Come to Edwin Snow. You have put up your house 3 days in a row.
No, can you pause before you come to Edwin Snow? Let's settle this Billity thing. And I think Fagon I want you to give Councilor Lamine the chance to weigh in on it while we wait for the guys from Centel. Councilor Lamine, though, so that's Fagon argument. But I'm not, maybe I'm wrong, and to each his own. I want that connection, Counselor. Is there any connect
between what and what?
between the Musa Belete showing his home, that of the 5.9 million from Road Fund, what he owes LRA? Are you seeing the connection? Is there any connect as to why you think this guy shouldn't?
I think you should say one of his homes, particularly
one of
the
his
one
homes.
in
That the one that he
Stackley.
posted. Yeah, and then also let's talk about the relationship that have to do with the election, talking about the pickup trucks and things.
So the link between his personal wealth and monies that he owed the government. That's the issue.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, when you have a situation where someone is accused of financial malpractices, and then that person is flaunting wealth at the same time, it's not difficult to try to make a link between the two. It's easy to try to make that link. But again, we have to be able to look at this situation in a way that does not make us to speculate unnecessarily. Okay, one, we have to take into consideration the issue of corporate debt, right? A corporation is required to withhold a certain amount of money for government, with respect to the Road Fund, with respect to the sale of gasoline and other petroleum products. And on the other hand, the corporation is also under obligation to pay corporate taxes and income taxes to the government. If the corporation fails to do those two things, ultimately there's a human being there that will be held responsible. But how much of that money that human being converted to his or her own personal use is something that we do not know when it comes to this particular situation. So it's easy to assume that if Mr. Belete has taken money that belongs to the government and all of us, technically speaking, belonging to all of us, and then he's flaunting wealth on the other side, it's easy to try to make the link between the two. This guy cannot have this kind of excess money to buy political party vehicles, to build a fabulous home, and to live a flashy life if it is not directly linked to this nefarious activity that he's involved with. But for me, I kind of hesitate to be too political when it comes to these kind of things. To already accuse somebody of thievery if I do not have evidence that the person is a thief, or direct evidence that the person is a thief. I'm kind of really reticent in doing that, because our words can come back to haunt us. You said something today that you're not sure of, you don't have 100% evidence on, or even 90% evidence on, and you go on spewing it.
So let me ask you. Let me ask you a question, Fagon. Not Fagon. I beg you, because it's
that's the
important
correction I wanted to make, because it's not
real
an
quick.
allegation. You
Real
heard
quick,
a
go
man
ahead,
saying,
Fagon.
I owe 100. It's not allegation again.
165,000.
Thank you very much. And he hold on a minute.
Hold on, Councilor. Hold on.
He said the same thing in 2013. The record will show. So you are buying 250 cars in 2017. We have the video. You build a party headquarters. You just finishing your house in Saclay, PA. In 2013, he has it. He will show it to you right now. Then last night, while we're on the show, Jeru said he heard you. And then we played a clip. You say yes. What is 165 for me?
So no, Fagon, let me come from somewhere here. I beg you, I won't go back to Lamin, because Mo Ali and Gibson got to come in on this one. Consider, this is where I'm coming from, though.
Mm-hmm.
And forgive me, folks, please. Don't kill the messenger. Can we position Musa Belete to say that he stole the money? Can we say that Musa Belete stole the Road Fund, stole the taxes? Can we say that openly? Or you think it's just politics? You have 30 seconds. We got to move on, please.
Stanton, I'm a lawyer. If I'm talking as a politician, I would say someone stole something. Stealing is a specific intent crime. When I'm speaking about these things and I try to be nuanced about it, I'm speaking from the standpoint of a lawyer. It's necessary when something goes wrong, it doesn't necessarily mean our crime has happened. If you say somebody stole, you definitely saying the person committed a crime and he intended to commit the crime. The fact that I do not have all the facts at my fingertips I cannot be the one to categorically say that. Let the politicians,
Thank
the
you.
guys who are
Thank you.
politicians,
So
let them
then
be
let's
the
move
ones
on.
to categorically make the kind of category.
You are quite correct in making your point. Mo Ali, let me bring you on, and I don't know where Fagon went to, but let me bring you on, Mo. It's important to say what you want to say about Musa Belete. Let's just adjust ourselves for a minute, and please take out your political hat. Can you accuse Musa of stealing any money? Have he stole from the government, from the Liberian people? Can we set the record straight? I know he said he owed. I know the government said he didn't pay taxes. I know we can talk about a road fund, but can we say Musa Belete stole or down? Mo Ali.
All right. So first, just 5 seconds. I'd like to say, I would like to see Donald Trump back in the American presidency. That said, I spoke with a lawyer today, and we talk about owing taxes and evading tax payment. If you just owe someone, I don't think it is stealing. I don't think you've committed any crime by owing someone. I can credit from you. And many a times we see it with businesses. Sometimes their taxes are billed and they don't have the money to pay yet, or they have not paid for some other reason. And so government just go after them to pay the taxes or to pay that debt. When you evade tax, that one is stealing. It's a criminal case, according to what the lawyer told me today.
It is.
And there are many other ways people can evade taxes. For example, those who bring in petroleum products, for example, when they come, they cool in order to evade the actual amount of tax that they are supposed to pay. They could under declare. So maybe you brought in 1 million gallons. Then you told the government that we brought in 800,000 gallons. So you'll be paying taxes on 800,000 gallons and not 1 million gallons. So the 200,000 there, you're not paying taxes on there. You're not paying road funds on there. When you do that, that is criminal. So we need to find out.
Can I hold you more? I need to hold you more. I beg you. You set a good example. That is criminal on which end? Isn't it the government responsibility to get it from you? Are you telling me that I'm not here to defend Musa though, and I stand to be corrected? Are you Mo Ali telling me that the government, knowing very well if it is true that Musa Belete have invaded, he said I'm not paying taxes or he dodging, and they will just sit there for 5 years, and you're going to consider that he stole from the government?
So that's what I'm saying. If you evade taxes, and I just gave one example, you could under declare. You bring in 1 million gallons and you declare 800,000 gallons. Now, how they know what the lawyer was telling me, who also has idea in the finance area, they get to know when they do the auditing. So they go, they audit. Okay, you say you brought in 1 million gallons the whole of last year. But the auditing showed that you actually sold, you brought in 800,000 gallons, but the auditing shows that you actually sold 1 million gallons. So where you got the extra 200,000 gallons from, how you got it. And then they go backward now, they do a backward trend on the investigation, and it lends them to, okay, you, Mo Ali, you brought in 1 million gallons, you declared 800,000 gallons, you owe tax, you have evaded taxes on 200,000 gallons. And not only taxes, but you evaded road.
So that's your argument. That's your argument.
That okay. One is stealing. But when you just owe, I would not say stealing. But when you evade taxes, and that's stealing.
Okay, let me go back to Fago before I get to Gibson.
They said they locked the place down for tax evasion. They didn't say because you owe taxes. Because there are many businesses here. Sometimes most of the businesses here owe taxes.
It's a lot of things. So
and then they make payment.
So I think we understand your point of view. Let me bring in Minister Fagon, and then we'll go to Gibson. So Minister Fagon, you heard from Lamine, Mo Ali giving a very, very decent point here. Talk to us. Evading taxes is stealing. Not paying the road fund is stealing. which is which, because your show was very direct before we even get to Edwin Snow today. I want to give you the chance now. You have your time, then we bring in Gibson. You unmute him, sir.
First of all, let's be clear. And these words represent me. Musa Belete is a criminal. He was convicted, so I don't have to say, he can't carry me to court and say this man called me a criminal. He was slapped for being a criminal, and he was sentenced to a 10-year ban and all the other things associated with it. So it is within my legal purview to refer to him as a criminal. That's one.
He was
Secondly,
convicted where?
he
was convicted where? Under Liberian law, or are you talking
it
about the
don't
FIFA?
matter whether international law.
I just want our audience to understand. Where
FIFA doesn't have the ability to convict somebody criminally, so you'd be wrong to say you were convicted.
Hold on, that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking.
You say FIFA does not have the ability. He was convicted of stealing. Take the law degree.
Counselor, hold on, Counselor, hold on. You will come in. Let the minister go ahead.
He was not found guilty by the FIFA court for going to the hospital and making a donation. He was found guilty for stealing money. He stole it. They didn't give it to him. So let's be clear. And give me a chance. Let me answer this question because you answer it. Now, you all want to beat around the bush. You said tax evasion is criminal, which is 100% accurate. And if the government said he was shut down for tax evasion, it doesn't mean he's guilty, but that's a criminal offense. But here is why I say, the question here to me is, would you say Musa Belete stole? Yes, Stanton, and here is why. There was 30 cents placed on a gallon of gasoline by the government to go towards our road fund. It had nothing to do with Belete profit. It had nothing to do with his product or his business. Understand that. It was not his money. Understand that. That is even different from the taxes. Understand that. Now, the 30 cents is what Musa Belete stole from the Liberian people. And what did he do? He entered an agreement with the representative of the Liberian people and say, okay, I will pay it. It's 5.9. The fact that you have admitted and that you agree to pay an amount that was not yours, it was not an ordinary taxes on the product. It was a tax on the Liberian people that you should have collected and given to the government. You have stolen. That's why he's paying it back. Secondly, the road fund is different from government collected taxes. Let's understand that. Why are you owing $165,000 since 2013? What have you paid in the last 10 years? Have you been paying your taxes? They are closing you down now for evading taxes. But 10 years ago, you did the same. My friend, taxes are levied by governments on products or goods and services. And the taxes are to be collected. And so if you are stealing it and building houses and cars, you are a common criminal. And I'm challenging you.
So we'll get back to you.
A debate.
Let me bring in Gibson. Gibson, welcome to the show. The same question. Talk to us.
First of all, I think Fagon is in the right lane. I may beat on Fagon for other things, but this one, I will agree with him. What is stealing? Stealing has different languages in the legal balance, in the legal world. It can be embezzlement. It can be misapplication of entrusted property. For example, the 30% or 30 cents per sale tax for the road tax was entrusted to Mr. Belete. He was not supposed to use it. That is misapplication of entrusted property. That's what we call stealing at the elite level.
Gibson, just to interrupt you 1 second. It is the same misapplication of entrusted property, entrusted funds, for which the court found Brownie Samuka guilty, and he did not become senator of Lofa County.
So,
Thank you.
So to even more, to even talk about this more, if you do, I'm not a lawyer, but if you ask Lami will have a knowledge on tax evasion, which is an illegal non-payment of taxes. So usually people either declare less or declare none. So if you tell the government you didn't get taxes when you have taxes, you lie on your taxes, you decided to defraud the government. Defraudment is another language, is another parlance for stealing. Defraudment. You defraud the government, you stole the government money, you stole taxes. You misapply entrusted property, they give it to you to keep it. You are supposed to turn it over at the time they want it. No, you didn't do that. It stayed with you. You use it for your own self. You build your business. You did other things with the money. They didn't tell you to do that. That's misapplication of entrusted property. In that case, Bility stole money.
So let me ask you a question, Gibson. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Are you putting this on Bility, or are you putting this on the government?
Well, there's a part of the government that we have to look at very closely. First of all, Bility stole money. Second of all, the government failed to go after the rogue that stole their money for 5 years. So it is the government negligent for not going after the man who they say had the money. So you waited 5 years. The man took the money, you should have given it back to you. He should have given it back to you for a project, for a road project. He didn't do that. He used it for himself.
Then let me use from the opposition to CPP, representing Tewan Gonglo. You say Gonglo Global Media. You've been in the business of Liberia. If you call him Bility, say he stole money, something I won't do, because I think that what a FIFA can convey, that's another question.
No, that's
because
that's,
I don't know Labik Pakor would speak on that. But I want to ask you though, are you now moving if you shift it in that direction, what becomes of Mr. Cummings and the CPP? Should they still wind and down with Bility?
Well, first of all, what Mr. Fagon said about conviction, I don't believe it's from conviction. In the civil law, we don't say conviction, we say liability. You are liable. So whatever that happened between Bility and the FIFA, Bility was liable for taking certain amount of money or for misusing certain amount of money. So conviction will come as a criminal offense. And I think the lawyer here will agree with me on that. But yes, you talk about CPP and Cummings. This is where I have a little problem when Cummings does not do anything to clear his part of the, clear his name. Because he has to insist on Bility. If Bility claims that he has paid these amount of monies, he has to insist for Bility to make that clarification in the public. Otherwise, the excess baggage that is coming with Bility will have a political impact on his presidential bid. And that is what Liberian, it's easy for the Liberian people to think. Oh, yeah, the man will be president. Bility not pay taxes for 5 years. When he became president, I think Bility will not even pay tax to government.
So let's just I beg you, I want to bring in and I know I would just give a councillor for a bid because I want to hear Mo Ali, then we'll go to the councillor. Mo Ali, knowing everything we know the FIFA story about Bility, going down to locking up Bility company, locking it down yesterday. Bility declaring that 165,000. If I'm gonna say no, that's a mistake. You've been owing this thing since 2017. You still owing this money you never pay with interest.
2013, please. 2013.
Thank you. With interest, but you have not paid. Now, if you are Mr. Cummings, you want to be president though. These reports coming up. Put yourself in that Cummings position right now. I know you're opposition to Mr. Cummings, but let Liberians hear you tonight. Knowing very well that this man carried that baggage, knowing very well he didn't pay the 165,000 road fund, everybody beating on him. You think Cummings should distance himself? Talk to us about the Cummings mindset. You're muted. You're muted, my brother.
Okay, so I was saying, sitting in my political seat and putting myself in Cummings' position, it is a very difficult thing to do. And here is the reason why. Mr. Cummings has struggled for support on the Liberian political landscape. He has even struggled more for support of people who have some degree of political weight. And for somebody who is struggling to get members, to get people to support him, it's going to be an extremely difficult decision for him to tell Mr. Billy to step aside, especially to the point where they have a defense. They will be able to say, you know, Mr. Billy has done no wrong, given the fact that he has not been carried to court, and the court, no court has found him guilty or any of the local charges. You know, the roll funds, the tax evasion, and all those kind of things. So just the fact that they have a defense is going to be extremely difficult for Mr. Cummings to push him aside, because Mr. Cummings needs Musa Ability, then Musa Ability needs Mr. Cummings.
But I'm not asking you, and I'm not saying that you should tell Mr. Cummings to push it aside. What's the liability effect here?
Akami, to the point, to the extent that Mr.
Cummings, let me give you something
to
chew on. Let me give you something to chew on. It says if Mr. Cummings distances himself, he's done. If he doesn't distance himself, he's also done. So it's catch-22 situation.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Now, but to the extent that Mr. Cummings has said to the Liberian people that he wants to change, he said he is the real change. And everybody talks about change and they want to set example. I believe if he wants to set an example to show to the Liberian people that I am the real change, he needs to tell Mr. Bility, look, these are too much burden for me. Because instead of Mr. Cummings now propagating his message and campaigning, everywhere he goes, he will have to be defending Mr. Bility, to be honest with you. And it happens to every one of us in the political arena. He may have to defend Bility more than selling himself, and he doesn't have the support.
Thank you. I want to bring in, I'm sorry, Mo. I'm sorry, because the people are asking. I want to bring in Councillor, and before I do that, I will finish up with Fagon. We'll go to the phone line and ask Liberians what they think of this Bility-Cummings relationship. Now hearing everything and knowing everything, what their advice to Mr. Cummings. Councillor, please. I know we get at
before Councillor Kami, can you put the newspaper up?
I will. When I bring you on, I will. You're going to take us to the phone line. Councillor, please.
So we have to stop being too partisan about these things. Mr. Bility, according to all the information available, or at least the information we have available, there is something sketchy about what happened around two different sets of money. The tax that he should be paying to the government for his company's operation, and the money that was withheld for the road fund project. Those are sketchy. Whether Mr. Bility is liable for stealing money or whether it is his company, is a corporate situation, those are different issues. I have said on this show over and over, our focus has to be on the CDC government. We have to demand that the CDC government should get that money back from Mr. Bility. If it is not an issue of theft, if it's basically an issue of withholding money and not paying it, if it's not tax evasion, they should get him to pay the money back, provided that the statute of limitation hasn't kicked in yet. Because if they say some of the money go back 5 years, then some of it may be statute back. But we should focus on the government. The government seems to have reneged on this responsibility. We should be asking ourselves, why do you think the CDC people struggling to pay civil servants will have someone owing $4 to $5 million and they can go after that person aggressively to get that money back? We should be asking ourselves, what happened? What's the problem in there? Our focus should be on them.
Councillor, we hear all that. We Councillor, let me ask you.
Duty. The government
Councillor Papa, allow me to ask you a question.
Yeah.
I hear what you say, but we are in a political season. We cannot separate politics from this story. You know that very well. Everybody will have a piece of the pie when it comes to this issue. Let me ask you, if you have Tewon Gonglo hanging out with Musa Bility, what would be your advice to Teron Gonglo right now?
Teron Gonglo will not hang out with anybody who has a sketchy character. He won't. Because
okay then. Okay, if you gave your answer like this, if no, Councilor, hold on now. Councilor, hold on.
Yeah.
If you give your answer like this, that Teron will not hang out with anyone with sketchy character, then I must ask you, my brother, what would be your advice to Mr. Cummings down here hanging out with Mr. Bility in all these things?
I said it on the show last night. Mr. Bility is not running for president, right? It's Mr. Cummings that is running for president. And Mr. Bility allegedly supports Mr. Cummings. If Mr. Bility really wants to see Mr. Cummings to be successful, what he will do is he will fall on his sword. When he fall on his sword, he will step aside. And I made an example in 2004, 2005. In the Liberty Party, we had a similar situation. And the person voluntarily stepped aside because they did not want to become a distraction to the campaign.
So you just answer it. You said Mr. Bility should step aside. I think it's fair.
It should be his decision to do.
But now I brought you back. I brought you back to answer the question. Thank you very much. Let me bring you Fagon. We really need to ask the Liberian people. It is important. This Bility and this common relationship with everything that hanging over Bility, they need to understand. Must come and speak. Why come and stay hanging out with Bility? Why see people stay canvassing their relationship with Bility in such a way that Bility actually say what you want to say, chairman of CPP, stay calling the shot. Does it matter to them, or they just don't care?
I don't understand, my friend and dear brother Lami. How do you demand a government that is using Bility as a political agent to go after their political agent? You come up, you say we cannot, we're having two separate amounts here. This man has admitted to both. You have the video in the chat room, Spoon Talk. Why you can't play it?
But what's the video called? What's the name of the video? You say we have the video.
Night. We play it.
Okay, hold on 1 minute.
This man has admitted to both.
$165,000. That way you can bring Musa Bility away. That way you can break MHP way. Go find somebody else to break the $165,000. I mean, you went all over. You're loud. Oh, Musa Bility, oh, 5 million. The records are there. I dare anybody to come stand in front of me. About 9 companies in Liberia were owing road fund to the tune of almost $30 million. My company was owing $4 million. And I paid all except for $400,000 and some change. The records are there. Anything you do, you go bring your man's cell phone upgrade, your partner upgrade, and your business.
To the last point, Fagon, and you will add this to your conversation right now. So who's saying the truth? He said he paid all. But the people from LRA and the road fund said, no, you didn't. Talk to us.
He owed 5.9, but in this video, he said he was owing $4 million. He paid all except for $400,000. So he's admitted. Lami, I hope you heard it. He's admitted. He said, $4 million, I pay all except for $400,000. That's an admission. Then he came back, he said, $165,000. Eh? That's all I owe. That's why you can't hold me for. But again, it's an admission. What do you need? Now, what I want you to do, Stanton, is put up the newspaper, the New Democrat, from June of 2013. Why should we hold it back? Let's show it. And then I can give you my answer.
Hold on 1 minute. The newspaper.
Why are we playing around? If it comes to the airport saga, Bility. The Nima Lane fiasco, Bility. FIFA money, Bility. Raw fund, Bility. 165,000 tax evasion, Bility. Since 10 years ago. Why you keep asking that we should go after the government? I worked for the government for 3.5 years. I know Mr. Bility is a double agent, a double political agent. I know that Mr. Bility works for the government because I dealt with Mr. Bility. The money that got missing for the few from LEC that will be investigated in the new government, Belete was tied to it. That's what caused John to resign from LEC. Because that money was given to Belete, but it was fishing. It was never used for fuel. So, my friend, the reason why, your question, to answer it while you look for the newspaper, is right in there. To answer your question, Cummings came with Ma Ellie in 2007. It is now well established that Cummings worked with Ma Ellie. It is now well established that Clarence Moneyba worked with Ma Ellie. It is now established that Charlene, Belete, Josh Wisner, they all work. Bezonga, they all work with Ellie up to this point. They are members of the Ellen faction, and they support the CDC. And that's why when they supported us in 2017, we thought they just came as friends. But there was a power sharing that kept almost all the ministers in government. And that is where we are today. And that is why we're voting for the real change. So if you talk about Belete, put a picture of Belete and Cummings driving together. They are not new bodies. This money is from all the way
So what
back.
are you asking Cummings to do? We understand now. What are you asking Cummings? If you have the chance to advise Cummings tonight, the people are about to speak to Mr. Cummings. Now we understand that Belete owe FIFA. Now we understand that Belete owe on the road front. Now we understand that Belete owe on everything plus more, on how you call it.
Then now we understand that Belete is on nail.
Now we understand that Belete said I owe and I will pay, but I alone I didn't owe. You know, I didn't take the money alone. You have other 9 companies. Now, Fagon, freely advise Mr. Cummings to do what?
I like what you said, freely advise Mr. Cummings. I will say to Mr. Cummings, what did your mother tell you? Anything that is not yours and you take it, what is that? He will say stealing. I will lay the scenario to him. And then I will tell him, you came here as Mr. Clean Hands. Now we found out you've been here since 2007. We see all your own hand, but we can't catch it in the cookies jar. All the people around you that have shaded characters, you either let go them or you let go your political ambition, which is, as far as I'm concerned, is at a standstill. Even Gonglo now is passing you in the poops. Why? Because people see Gonglo now as far more genuine and honest than you.
People
Give them the
see,
wisdom.
people's always been genuine and honest.
Why you there? I'm not pressing you here, man. Don't give me hard time.
We're not asking you for praises.
But let him finish, man. Cancel.
The thing about it
In the
is,
meantime, we say thank you for saying that. You know,
we see Jeru behind.
At least wasn't the one again and made it true.
Yeah, the thing that look at Belete face. Yeah, the money there. The debt is there since 2013. And since 2013, last night you boast of 165. What about the one you owe you now? And then Cummings driving you around in car when you took that 5.9 million.
So let's go back to Cummings.
Anytime.
Your advice to Mr. Cummings now. We understand he's from Jade, he's from 207. He hanging out with Belete, he hanging out with the rest of them. Now it's election, 4 months to go. Seeing everything we know about Belete now, tax evasion, everything we know about Belete, road for money that he cannot pay back, everything we know about Belete, FIFA convention, everything plus more. Belete is bragging. I'm hanging out with Cummings. Cummings is my boy. We're doing the best that we can do to win an election. Should Cummings now trust Belete to ride and die? I mean, I see you.
I'm saying to you, Belete been finished with Cummings long time. Now you ain't know, but I know. And all I can say, as long as Belete remain chairman, it will not be CPP. Listen to it. It will not be CPP. That party, that Tiffy party. And that name will stick on that party as Tiffy party, not CPP party. It's not going to work. And it's not going anywhere. Like
I know, folks, we'll be flipping real quick. Let me bring in Mo Ali, and I will hear from the Gonglo guys because it's important to hear from the Gonglo man. Again, folks, Dr. Richardson is coming on. She's running late. We'll be having a program also discussing Jeremiah Coon Hospital We'll call the guys from Santal. We'll also go to the phone line. Your free advice to Mr. Cummings. Should he hang out with Ability knowing everything he know now, or should he cut him loose? I want to hear from the Liberian people. You are on, listen, turn to Super FM, Super TV, Spoon FM, Spoon TV, Fabric FM, Fabric TV.
When you calling the stations, they call it the frequency.
Okay, I will ask Damo, can you please put the frequency there? It's Spoon 107.5, Super 95.5, and Fabric something. So go ahead, Moadi.
101.1 Fabric.
Fabric 101.1. Thank you very much. You own Fabric. You own the station, so you know. But Moadi, though, we're going to the phone line, though. Seriously speaking, this is heavy. Yeah, in America, Barack Obama did it. When Jeremiah Wright had a problem in the 9th hour, what did he do? He called Jeremiah Wright out, the Reverend Wright. He said no. He disinvolved. We all know that story. Should Cummings now distance himself, or you think it is too late? Because a lot is coming up at Ability. A lot. Even some the CPP folks tell me, say, hey man, we have to do something about this Ability issue.
I don't think it is ever too late for somebody to do the right thing. To be honest with you, especially if we are all doing it in the interest of the country. And like somebody said, it is Cummings who is running for president. It is Cummings who wants to be the arrowhead of the country. And at this time, he has proclaimed to be the real change. I think he should start that change, start showing an example of that change, start to show to the Liberian people that he is really the serious person that we should trust. So yes, tell Cummings to resign as chairman of the CPP. But then the problem there again is that Musa Berete is there. He became chairman of the CPP by the formation of their framework document. The framework document said the chairman of Liberty Party or something is the chairman of the CPP, or the chairman of the CPP will come from the Liberty Party, and the ANC standard bearer will be the standard bearer of the CPP. So Musa is there by default. So to remove him as chairman of the CPP means that you have to ask the Liberty Party to remove him as chairman. So it's a very difficult thing. And when Cummings says,
is this a bad thing for Mr. Cummings? Is this how dangerous is it that Mr. Cummings hanging out with I beg you more, let me go because we gotta go to the phone line, bring in the other conversation. How dangerous it is, Mr. Cummings hanging out with Berete, going to the election 4 months to go. How dangerous it is.
Let me just squeeze 10 minutes in. I said earlier when Mo was talking, I said if Cummings distances himself, he is done. And if he does not, he is done. This is what happens. Right now, he is in tango. Cummings have been taking dangerous risks for a long time. But this one, he is in tango. He cannot easily distance himself. Because the only hope of Gavin Nassim's support for his presidential bid, it lies within Belete's ability to funnel money to his campaign and to help him to woo the vote that he wants. So if he says, I don't want to be with you because you are involved in shady deeds, Cummings is done forever. And if he does not do that and he stays with Belete, everybody will say Cummings is not credible and he's also done.
Do you think Mr. Cummings understands that Belete is a problem? He's more of a liability than an asset. Do you think Mr. Cummings understands when everybody come around and say Belete is working for the government, that President George Manneh, we are friends? Do you think he understands that, or he just pretending? Do you think you understand that when everybody said Mr. Cummings, Belete is speaking to Nathaniel McGill, Belete is speaking to Samuel Twe, this thing is a double-edged sword coming towards you, it will pierce you through your heart. Do you think he understands that Belete work of an agent, MI6, is working, and Mr. Cummings now have turned into, to be frank, do you think he understands it, or you think he just playing along, Mr. Gibson?
I think he understands, but he's being foolhardy. That's what I think. What do you think Mr. Cummings will go look for people like Louis Brown? Why is he going after people like Louis Brown to come into him to help him to win election? So he's aware of these things. He has been taking dangerous risks for a long time. And he is aware that ability, like Fagon said, I don't have any evidence, but Fagon being in government, he know where ability has passed. He know where he and ability are sat. So if ability is a double agent, if of course Cummings will be aware. He's not blind to that, but he's being foolhardy. I mean,
I beg you, my last question to you will bring in your brother, Councilor Lame. Because we are hearing the ability reaching out to Unity Party. Ability deny it, but we know for fact that he tried to call that deal. MDR, please do not feed your candidate in. I'm running, I'm your son. Please do not feed a candidate in. He tell the MDR. He also saying to Prince Johnson, he called Prince Johnson, please talk to Jeremiah Kuhn. This is our county. I will represent my District 7 well into your interest. He reached out to Unity Party. Unity Party said, no, NIMBA belongs to MDR. We cannot touch NIMBA. And this guy is reaching out and said, where can we break bread? How can we smoke the pot? He have reached out to Unity Party. These things are true. Hearing all of that, the CP people that knowing, they're hearing it. Why are they still hanging out?
To that issue of Unity reaching out to Unity Party, it is not going to work. And let me explain to you. Part of the agreement is that the NIMBA county will go to the MDR because that's their strongest hold, and the Unity Party or any other party wanting a seat there will negotiate. But the reason why the District 7 will not work is because the current representative is a Unity Party representative, the incumbent. And we are not going to compromise him for any other person. The MDR has given us the exclusive right to fill the candidate there because he is an incumbent. So that thing about him reaching out to us is not going to work. Even if there were backdoor talks, it's not going to work.
So I know, Councilor, you escape on this one, but Fagon got to comment on it. Let me just reach to you. You choose to say what you want to say. I will ask the same question to Fagon. Musa Benete reached to somebody from the Unity Party, and he was trying to negotiate how can they meet in the second round if Mr. Cummings if he make it to the second round, how can they negotiate? Early negotiation, he beginning to put words up there. It is true, he did. He cannot lie. We got a text message to that effect. But again, he reached out, and Bo Ali, you know exactly what I'm talking about when they begin to reach out and negotiate so early. It's Consider, why negotiate now if you think your guy have the strength?
I have no idea why he wants to negotiate now. Maybe what Mo is saying is right. Because I understand he's running for something in Nima County. So
representative, District 7.
He's probably trying to bargain with them in order for his seat to be secure. Maybe that's the reason why he's doing that. But I have absolutely no idea why he's doing it. The best and most effective time to negotiate is when the runoff election is announced. When you know the people who are in the runoff, that's the point at which you negotiate. That's the point your negotiation becomes effective. The people who are joining political parties at this particular point because they think that those parties have a guaranteed position in the elections are losing their negotiating positions. Because in order for you to be effective at negotiation, you got to show your strength in the elections. If you do not reach the runoff, because Liberian elections, since Mr. Taylor in 97, they've always gone to runoff. And I don't think these elections are going to be any different because the incumbent has governed horribly. So the runoff election, we're hoping that we're going to be in the runoff because we think that there is a sizable majority of silent Liberians out there who do not affiliate with any political parties, and they're looking for the best candidates or the best people to run this country. And I think most of those people see Councilor Gonglo as a person to do it. So we are not going to be in the process of going back there to say we're negotiating with people now to secure.
So Councilor Gonglo is not talking about second round right now. He's not.
No, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about our elections to win. So why would we be talking about second round when we didn't win?
Thank you, Councilor. Can you tell Anderson that we'll be bringing him on shortly, please? Honorable Fagon, the same question to you. This guy is reaching out, Musa Hassan Benete, begging that MDR shouldn't feed a candidate. Well, he got to talk to the steno-bearer, Senator Jeremiah Kuhn. But he's also asking that the privilege be given to him. UP, come to my aid. He reached out to UP folks. Mo Ali is on the show. They begin to have that conversation. Why now, Fagon? If you know that Mr. Cummings will win, why are you negotiating now that you want to pledge support? And you're backing the guys and say, please do not feed a candidate and give me the chance. Talk to us, Fagon. Something just not right, Fagon.
Well, because Bellete came in as a double agent, his mission was to make sure that the CPP does not hold. I am speaking not only from an informed decision, but as one of the chief strategists of the CDC and the government. So I'm not a play-by-play analyst here talking Tabata. No. His mission was to make sure, and he executed his mission well. Now, to keep the party, the CPP, broken in half, after succeeding, he had to stay on and play his role. He did. But in the process, he realized that he needed to be politically strengthened so as to hold on to power and not be pushed around legally. And that's how he moved into District 7 with his yellow machines in Nimba and started acting like he wanted to run. We have gotten to the serious part. No matter what you do, you have the United Party there, which is the incumbent. You have the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction, which is Prince Johnson and Kum Party. Where do you stand? Can you beat those two big parties with your little new CPP? You can't. What does Bellete want? Why is he negotiating? Bellete wants legislative power so as to have leverage. Hear me well. Leverage in negotiating what will happen after JNB wins. What are we discussing about Bellete now? We are discussing 165,000. We are discussing 5.9 million. We are discussing the airport saga. We're discussing tax evasion. So Bellete is only negotiating now so as to avoid what is coming for him and to have leverage as a legislator. But that's not going to work. It is next to impossible. We are not giving our seat to Bellete, and we don't expect a negotiation over that seat. And that's not going to happen.
All right, so Fagon. Yeah, go ahead, Casey.
If Bellete wants to negotiate, all you need to do is to go to Prince Johnson, and Prince Johnson will change the politics in Unity Party. It's not hard to do because Unity Party was going all along, very nicely, good, and Prince Johnson came and changed the whole trajectory of the parties.
No, but guessing my question to you though, why negotiate now? I will go to what Councilor Lamy wait for the second round.
Well, if you
think your man is your man, if you think your man is your man, if you think your man is winning, if you think your man he does have the momentum, why go? Wait. Somebody want us to say this. If I'm gonna help me out, they're asking the question: did Cummings send Bellete to negotiate, or Bellete is saving his own soul? That's the question.
Bellete is saving his own soul. It is him that is running for representative. And the only reason why he won that legislative power is because as a legislator, you have a slack. And now, knowing all you know about Bellete now, when he becomes a legislator, it'll be difficult. He wants a slack. So it is his own neck he's trying to save, not Cummings.
Guys, we will bring in the phone line. We got to talk about the Jeremiah Coon, Senator Coon Hospital. We'll be bringing the guys from Santad. They will be discussing that. That's exactly what interests Councilor Lamy tonight. But again, we'll be bringing in Mo Ali. That's it. We'll not take Councilor Lamy on the show for tonight. But let's bring in Chairman Byron. Let's get to the phone line. We will ask you, Liberians, please, just to the question. We're going to ask you, Liberians, why Mr. Cummings stay hanging up with Musa Bellete? Do you think it's time to cut him loose? Knowing everything you know, to shut down his company because he didn't pay taxes, all right? The road fund money he took, They say he didn't pay it. They went in there, they met the senator and said Bility didn't pay. All right? Knowing everything you know about Musa Bility, should Mr. Cummings cut him loose? Or is he helping or hurting Mr. Cummings? Let's talk. Let's go to the phone line.
Let us take this person. Good evening.
Yeah, Chris, calling from Douala.
Yes. How is Douala? Welcome to Spoon Talk.
Well, we are okay, although we have a wet day. But as a little topic, Mr. Bility, everybody knowing to be a satisfied criminal in our balance. So it is not a secret about his dealing with the government. He has been a private agent for a very long period of time. And succeeded in so many ways in fragmenting the opposition. And today, Mr. Cummings is developing, is trying on the basis of what? A failure to listen to the Nigerian people. If anybody, if you can't listen, you will pay the price.
Thank you.
And Cummings will pay that political price.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear brother. 07777.
Take the next call. Let be fast. Take the next call.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
This is Spoon Talk. What is your name and where do you come from?
This is Paul from I'm calling from Kingston.
Can you increase the volume? We are not hearing the
Okay.
The simple reason is Cummings has no other way out for presidency. Look, Cummings has no hope. Manabele Cummings die in politics. No, Cummings is going to enter the backup market of 290 So what I better go or not, Cummings got no global future in Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear brother. Good evening.
Yeah.
This is Spoon Talk.
Yeah, this is about rapidly situated in Carwell.
Okay.
Oh, thank you very much. You know, I want to borrow the word from Arthur Jassy that said Bility is a walking corrupt virus. Anything they encounter with, that you will catch corruption. So, Cummings, my advice to you, you say you can't be doing the city and expect different results. So when you be honest, they see what you say you clean, you not be clean. You.
All right. Hello. This is Spoon Talk. What is your name? No, you have to lower your monitor, please. Yes. All right. Let's take this question. Good evening.
Yes, this is Marco Ballard.
Okay, Marco. Welcome.
Yeah. My dad has been joined to the CPP. Musa Bility has scored the CPP today. The CPP can no longer hold. And we are asking Cummings to get rid of Bility or else. The ANC will not make it to the second round. So I'm clear about it. Musa Cummings should make a decision right now so that we can save the CPP. Take out so much as well in the time.
Thank you, Marco.
Two more calls. We got some questions coming up for the panelists. Two more calls.
Okay. Hello.
Economic decentralization.
No, let's take this person. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, this is Spoon Talk.
Thank you. My name is Alfred Dennis Tupa II.
Yes, Mr. Tupa. Where do you call from?
I speak to you in District number 2, Mosovara County.
Okay.
You know, sometimes I want to be a little bit careful. I am not a fan, a supporter of daily, but under our law, it is then last that all the innocent are to be guilty. So they being even if it is indicted by any institution, once you are not then proceeding guilty through a code of competent jurisdiction, I don't want to prejudge the president.
Thank you, my dear brother. Let's take this person. We have to go. The last caller. Hello. Yes, this is Spoon Talk. Good evening. Yes, CEO.
All right, thank you very much, Chairman. We will get back to the folks out there. But Fagon, what's going on here? Everybody on the same with the answer.
It's because, or maybe unless you have a foreigner on this panel, when it comes to the airport saga, Bility was linked. We all know what happened at the LCAA. More everybody know. Bility said, oh, in fact, Bility's son worked there. He put his son there. Oh, Bility has a big son. Okay? And we all know what happened to the Nimba land fiasco. Where my Ellen gave money, say, y'all go settle and do the resettlement and what have you. It became a fiasco. Bility was linked to that. He played a pivotal role. Serious. FIFA, that one, our case finished. He took appeal. Last month, the post said, you stole the money, you are a rogue. You still banned. It comes to the road fund. Someone just said a person is not guilty of a crime. But when the person confessed to the crime and agreed to pay and said they are paying, then yes, they are a criminal. They stole the money. Why would you pay for something you didn't steal? Then you come to the taxes. You put a newspaper up. Since 2013, you are on video. I bought 250 cars, but you can't pay 165,000. 10 years now. I built all these mansions, but you can't pay your taxes. I built party headquarters, but you can't pay your taxes. And what does the government do? The government let you slide. Why? Because you're with the government. So everybody knows Bility. The fact that Cummings is hanging out with Bility.
Do you think Bility will cause? Do you think Bility will cause Cummings this election?
That let me say this to you. All the Liberian people now who know that Cummings came to Liberia earlier and worked with Madam Salif and the Pan-African Capital Group and see Cummings hanging out with Bility, Josh Wisner, what's his name, Benson Garden, Louis Browner. Everybody know what happened now. Cummings have lost over 60% of his supporters in the last 2 weeks. I'm saying that with confidence. They all have left him behind him.
Gibson. Yes. Gibson. Let me bring you guys in because I'm still waiting for Councillor Lamy and his Anderson person that he was bringing.
He gone to tutor him, man. He gone to tutor him, man.
On a serious note, do you think now, knowing what we know, the Liberian people now getting crazy, telling Bility to come and say, cut this guy loose? He going to cost Cummings the election, or Cummings going to cost himself the election?
First of all, I don't believe that Cummings is going to win this election. That's the first thing. Number two, he's going to ruin his chances the more, and the Liberian people will not give him the kind of vote that he's looking for with people like Bility on his side. It is a clear understanding that with Bility on his side, the things that Bility is doing now will be worse when he becomes president. Those are bad politics for him. But you know, if I'm going to talk about Bility being a double agent, and I begin to think about when Bility used to campaign for George Weah for presidency. I don't know when he turned to become a real serious opposition. So when Fagon alleged that he was purposely commissioned to break down the CPP, I tend to believe that.
But I'm kind of confused, Mr. Jerry. My confusion, I know we're going to bring in Mo Ali. Why it would take a rocket scientist to make Mr. Cummings understand that this guy is just not a guy you so hang up with? I mean, even the children on the street saying, go, Mr. Cummings, run. Why do you think Mr. Cummings is so stubborn that he must die with Bility?
I don't think Cummings has a choice right now. I think Cummings is sandwiched because from the beginning, when Cummings started his political sojourn, the comments he made, the decisions he made are haunting him today. I don't see myself being second to anybody. Those were initial comments that Liberians saw as someone who is very desperate. And the fact that he was in a CPP and there's rivalry in the CPP. When the CPP broke up and he went on Bility's side, that told a lot of Liberians that he's not ready. And I think it shouldn't take him too long for him to know that. I think he already knows that, and that is going to cause in the election. And when we go second round, hopefully, if we don't win the first round, we'll go second round. Gonglo is going to sift off the opposition that are coming. We're going to make sure that there are checkpoints of people who are coming and pretending to be good politicians.
Councillor, please, can you call Mr. Anderson? We gotta move on with this thing. He's logged in, but he's not on by video, so we cannot bring him on. Mo Ali, again, talk to us, Mo. Why Cummings doing this to himself? Even the people are telling him, cut this guy loose. Everything is a baggage right now. We don't need it. Mr. Cummings, you are clean hands. We don't need it. To talk to us, and we bring in. Thank you, Anderson, for joining us. We'll get to you shortly. Mo, talk to us.
The truth is, Mr. Cummings cannot and will not do away with Mr. Bidity. They are tied together, one, by the CPP framework document, two, by the fact that Mr. Cummings does not have huge support and he's looking for support. He's not going to, by any means, throw away one of his biggest supporters. The person who has helped him to bring split in the Liberty Party, that you have the Liberty Party shuttled today, breaking loose with Mr. Bidity is not an option for Mr. Cummings. And you ask, will it cost him the election? Well, there was no election for him to win first before you talk about costing. If there was an election for him to win, then you'd be talking about costing him the election. So maybe very highly possible that it's going to reduce the number of votes that he might have got in the election in the first round.
My last question, and thank you for joining us, Anderson. Real quick, my last question. I beg you, Fagon, second round. You think Bidity, if Cummings, right, like everybody's saying he won't make it to the second round, you think Bidity going to go back to George Manawia? You think he will?
Yes, sir.
He will support. What about you, Gibson? You think Bidity will go back to George Manawia like they did?
No, hold on. Let me answer that question like this.
Yeah.
Let me answer that question like this. You think Bidity will go back to George Weah, which means all of us here know that and I've said it. If you want me to go into detail, later on I'll go into detail of him being a double agent, how I know where I was and what we decided. But it depends on the margin. If we have a wide look, let's just say common sense. If we go into second round and Joe Boakai has 49% of the votes, and the small one, we are getting 38, the other, you know he wouldn't need 1% plus one to push him over the line. And that would be nothing to get. Gonglo will give it to us without even asking us where you guys going. So it depends on the magic. If it is very close, Bidity will take his gamble. And the reason is simple. Bidity knows after this government, 165,000 will be investigated. 5.9 million will be investigated.
Are you saying under the JMB government will go after Bidity?
Bidity is an individual. The chips will fall where they may, and the legal course of action will be taken to protect the interests of the Liberian people and make sure there is equity for each and every Liberian, as
Mo
well
Ali,
as
is that so? Mo Ali, you are saying, Mo Ali, your former Secretary General. If this thing comes to Joseph Yima Boakai, the next president, with Joseph Yima Boakai government go after Musa Bidity and his company?
So let me not personalize it. That Joseph Boakai or UP government will go after individual company. What we have made as part of our policy in the first 100 days, Joseph Boakai UP-led government will commission an audit of the entire government and the entire system. So if your system happens, if your company or an individual happens to fall foul, as will be reported by the audit, the law will go after you. It will not be Joseph Boakai or UP going after you. It is the law.
So the law, thank you. Thank you very much. The law will be the law. The law will be the law. Councillor, talk to us, Councillor. You are muted, Councillor. We're not hearing you. Can you give the councillor volume, please?
we will go after anybody who stole Liberian people money, our money. We'll go after that person. And we're not only stop there. The people who fail to go after people who stole our money. Because if the statute of limitations stop us from getting our money back, the people who fail to do their work will go after them to pay that money. That's what we'll do.
So you are saying from the Taiwan Gongolo camp, whether an individual or a company, y'all will go after everyone. Everything.
We'll go after everyone. Where the law says we can go after the person because of somebody's negligence, we'll go after that person who was negligent.
Wow.
We'll go after that person.
Wow. So folks, we want to say thank you. We'll come back again. We didn't touch the how you call him, Edwin Snow conversation you brought up today. I've read what else to touch if Fagon. But let's spend some time with Mr. Anderson Melman. Welcome to the Spoon Talk, sir. How you doing?
Thank you, Stanton. It's a pleasure to be here. I hope I can achieve the objective for which I've come on, basically. And thanks to your panelists for all the efforts you've been making to shed light on different issues in the country.
Thank you. Anderson, why are you here? Why are you on Spoon Talk?
I'm here basically to respond to the comments made by Mr. Mo Ali on June 6th, alleging that I am into active politics, or in 2020, I actively or vigorously campaigned for Madam Edith Gonglo Ware, and I was on a campaign trail or team with him. That's basically what I'm here to clarify.
So, were you?
Yeah, once again, thank you for the opportunity. As you know, or you may know, I work for the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia, which is CENTAR. CENTAR is a local civil society organization and the national chapter of Transparency International. We've been around since 2004, playing roles at different levels, basically to support good governance efforts. If you talk about civil society organizations in the business of fighting against corruption, CENTAR.
We understand because we're running with time. Were you ever part of the Edith Gonglo Ware team?
Not at all. I don't even know Edith Gonglo Ware except for hearing about her on the radio. As CENTAR here, we are politically neutral. Our policies forbid us from actively participating in politics, especially so me as head of the institution or any members of the senior management team here. So
who established CENTAR? Who brought about CENTAR?
CENTAR was established by Liberians who believe at the time that corruption was a major issue in the country and there needed to be a dedicated institution or civil society organization to support national efforts to address it.
So let's go. We're going to do a round of questioning because I understand why you're here. They had this conversation yesterday. Liberians want to understand from you yourself, or your report from CENTAR, your report or part of your group report concerning Jeremiah Pancone Hospital. What do you know? Let's talk about it. Let's just go directly and talk about it. Talk to us. What do you know? Yeah.
So like I indicated, I'm not really here to discuss that report or the contents of the report because it's clear. It is on our website. Those who are interested in the report, not just that report, but all the reports we've been doing, can go on our website, www.cental.org.lr. They can access the report, go through it, and make whatever commentaries or so that they can. The facts are there, they're evidence-based. We are a credible organization. I don't necessarily need to tell you that here.
What did your report say, Anderson? What did your report say concerning Jeremiah Pancone Hospital?
I am not here to discuss the contents of the report. What I'm here to do, like I said, is to speak to what Mo Ali said.
But before we get to the more Ali though, the reason why, hold on 1 minute, Anderson. I beg you. Hold on 1 minute. Councillor Lamin Kwako, you told us that the gentleman was coming on that we can speak about Jeremiah Kun Hospital and his report.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay. Why did you invite him, Councillor Lamin Kwako?
No, if
can I make a point quickly?
I beg you, I'll come to you next. Let's listen to the councillor, please.
The issue about his political involvement, when the show went on the other time, there was this heated argument about the reason why that report was done was a hatchet job, because Anderson Miame was an active campaigner of Edith Gongolo Ware, and that's the reason why he decided to lie on Jeremiah Kun. That's what Mr. Ali said. So it's only proper that Anderson will be given the opportunity to come and clarify whether he decided to lie on the vice tenant bearer of the Unity Party because of his political interest. It's only proper to do that. And he said that
be the case, if that be the case, Councillor, then that's the report.
Anybody can read it and see.
But Councillor, and I beg you, Gibson and Fagon and Mo, that means that we have to discuss the report that Anderson put out there, but he chose not to discuss it. He said he's not going to talk about it. We should go online. So since y'all want us to go back online, Mr. Anderson Melman, we tell you thank you for joining Spoon Talk tonight. We'll go online and we'll write our comment and we will post our own opinion. But thanks for joining us and have a good evening, sir.
Thank you. That's basically why I came. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mo, let's go ahead. Talk to us, Mo.
Yeah, so I just knew that Anderson would have opted not to talk about the report because, like I said, and I stand by what I said, the report portion that talked about the hospital was actually politically motivated because Anderson was against the political interests of Kun, like all of us. I did not support Kun. I supported Edith Gongolo Ware. And the report was published in 2021. He alleged in the report that Jeremiah Kun's hospital was getting money from government. If we were even assuming that the hospital was getting money from government, normally government does subsidize private institutions, schools, and health centers. But I sent you a report today, the notarized copy of the transfer of the hospital from the foundation that was running it to the government of Liberia. If you will, you could put it up for the public to see. Very notarized. And you will see, when you put that copy up, you will see that Stanton, the hospital, was transferred to the government of Liberia for a period of 6 years. For a period of 6 years. You see in there, on January 22, 2020, Mr. Anderson report that he made through Centar said that the investigation was done throughout 2020. Throughout 2020, the investigation was done. The hospital was transferred. And if you see the signature page there, you will see the Minister of Health and all of those people that have to do with the health, with the government. January 22nd, 2020. And when you go back to the second page, the report, the notarized document transferring the hospital to the government also tells you that Mr. Kun transferred the hospital and he will not receive a penny from the operations of that hospital from government or from proceeds gotten from the hospital. Not a penny. And the reason why they transfer it for 6 years is for Mr. Kun to observe, his foundation to observe, how is the government going to take care of this property? And after the 6 years, the hospital will be transferred permanently to the government of Liberia. So how can Mr. Anderson Meme go conduct an investigation. He did not even talk to Mr. Kun, because when he published the report, Senator Jeremiah Kun called him personally to protest that what you stated in this report is not true. The hospital has been transferred. And even while the hospital was being operated privately, it was operated by a non-profit foundation that was registered with the government.
So let me hold you a bit, and we are going through the document, and let me bring in Gibson, and I'll bring in Councilor. No, but we have to give our brethren the chance to respond. Councilor, you have anything to add? Gibson, you have anything to add?
Let me just say something. You know, we have to be honest with ourselves. The Anderson has said the report is self-explanatory, it's online, people can go and read it and make their own opinions about it.
But the people in the villages can never go online to read.
Eugene way small. What Moali said was that Anderson Miame decided to lie on Senator Kun because he was campaigning for Edith Gonglo Ware, and Edith Gonglo Ware did not win the election. I mean, you can make a statement like that about another person when you know it's not true. And you see, he's avoided discussing that particular issue when you're talking about transfer of hospital. So discuss the issue. You made an error.
No.
Together, and
you get twisted.
Yes, I made a twist. It's simple.
You cannot
say my opening statement on this. I made very clear that the report on Senator Kun by Anderson Miame was politically motivated.
Because he was campaigning for Edith Gonglo Ware and she did not win. And you said you and he campaigned together. And you know that's not true. So why would you say something that's not true, Mo?
But that Motiaye was not true.
For me,
it's his word versus
the appearance of
how is his word versus Mo Ali's word? The
appearance of Mr. Miame, I think he didn't do us justice, because I understand that he came to clarify. I understand that he came to clarify that he did not campaign, but at the same time, he is one of the authors of that document. He could have given us at least a light into this.
Thank you.
To tell us what process. For me, I want to know the methodology they employed to do the investigation. What were their findings? Who they talked to? Did they make effort to reach out to Mr. Kun? Did they reach out to government ministry responsible for this transfer? I wanted to know all of these things, because the problem with I've been dealing with NGO for a long time. There was a conglomerate of NGOs in Liberia that we used to publicize their document, their work, and there are sometimes I rejected some as an editor to publish them because I feel that it was empty. I'm not accusing Mr. Miame and his Central group of undercutting themselves, but I think this one he shot himself in the leg, because there was a perfect opportunity for him to give it to Mo Ali, as he knows it. Mr. Mo Ali, you don't know about this report. You haven't read this report. We did this. We contacted Mr. Kun. He failed to listen. He failed to talk to us. We went to the school. We asked officials. We asked people who are involved into this. And we are very sure that he was receiving money. Personally, somebody called me from Nima last night and told me that Kun is receiving $10,000 per annum on this particular hospital. I'm going to Liberia on July 25th, and I'm going to Nima to make sure myself, to ask whether it is true that he is receiving money. Those are issues that we really want to know about. So I think Mr. Miame should just say something about it, because this allegation against him is to me is inferior to the major issue, because he put up a report. It is based on a report that Mr. Mo Ali is responding. So Mo Ali is speaking as a politician, but he is speaking as a technocrat, as a human rights.
Thank you. So let me bring in Councilor Kwako, then we'll go to Honorable Fagon. Councilor.
So the Anderson has said clear cut whether the methodology they used to do the report. I mean, that's not relevant. You go to his website, you take his report, you can criticize it. You can criticize his methodology. You can do anything you want to do. And he told you, go to my website, it's there. Read the report and say whatever you want to say about it. But I'm not going to editorialize the issue. But what is of importance, we all are panelists here. We are all, that's the reason why I'm always very careful on slandering people. Gotta be very careful. You shouldn't be thinking about or giving red meat to your base so you decide to slander somebody. You don't do that. If you say with confidence that the person must campaign for another person, you say the man must say campaign for another person when the person is not involved in politics. You say the man must say campaign for another person. I mean, you put your slander out there is wrong.
You know, I mean, all the defense you're doing, you're not doing the show justice.
More, did you and Anderson campaign for either bungalow well together?
Anderson came on the show. Anderson rebuked my statement. He should have waited for me to counter. He didn't do it. He left. And the reason that brought this thing is about even to what Christine said, I wanted to react quickly. If the government of Liberia will go into an agreement notarized under the law, and that agreement says, Mr. Jeremiah Kun, you will not receive a penny for the 6 years this hospital is under the control of the government. And then that same government will pass under him and be giving $10,000. It is in the agreement that Jeremiah Kun will not take $5. And also speaking with Jeremiah Kun, when the government took the hospital, the government said, we will not inherit the liabilities of the hospital. He was indebted in the tune of almost
Thank you, guys. We got to go. It's 6:15.
He is still servicing our debt.
Mo, thank you very much. Fagon, take us home. We got to run through the next topic.
Let's get some facts here, and let's leave the Tabata and the fiction. This brother came here. It was something that brought the talk about him supporting Ide Gonglo Way. That was something that brought our talk. That the report he made was politically motivated. He comes on the platform. They ask him. He said, no, I did not. He denied it. The CEO asked him, for the benefit of the people out there, tell us what's in the report. You said, no, the poor will go read the report online. Councilor Lamy, in case you don't know, there are 3 radio stations relaying you right now.
So,
Madam Musu in Bomi, does she have a computer to go online? Ome Bolokaju in Bom, he wants to hear, does he have a computer? Does he even have internet? You are on 3 radio stations. You are asked about a report, like Gibson said, that you author, and you don't know your own report for the benefit of the public, to be the judge, to see whether you are telling the truth or is politically motivated. Don't play with us here. Secondly, Gibson, you said, someone said 10,000 per annum. If someone would give you a $2.5 million property, it is stipulated in a document right here. So Mo already explained that part to you. But a $2.5 million property, they're going to give it to you for $830 a month. $830 a month. This is political season. And I applaud you for saying you go into check. But it doesn't make sense. If you divide 12 months by 10,000, it's $833 per month. That's in a Tabata right there. And the reason why, Lamy, I'm saying this, let's forget about Mo Ali and that man. That man came on this platform. Liberian people hungry for knowledge.
You had an opportunity, though.
The opportunity was there. And you say you can't tell us, Ome Bolokaju, Ome Lamy, Pagoy, Sion. They will go take computer and read it and make comments. I don't even know why you brought him here. You just wasted our time.
Folks, we need to move on. I cannot go without discussing this issue. Again, to our brother Gibson, Gerald, you seem to be fair, and I hope when you go over there to Nimba, take one of our guys with you, and let's talk about Nimba.
I mean, we'll swallow GB there.
But give the guy GB too. When you hit the ground, take one of our guys and talk to Madam Titi, the CEO, and that they can ride and die with you while you're on your mission to Liberia, that we can see and know about the real Nimbadians, not the politician, the actual people that will say, "Babwa, I will eat a man, evil man." Let's talk about that. But let's go back to the Edwin Snow. Fagon, why you went after Edwin Snow today? Real quick, we got only about 15 minutes to this discussion. Why you went after Edwin Snow, Fagon?
Honestly, I like you as a brother, but sometimes you can really get on my last nerves.
That's how it is, bro.
Because sometimes when I'm talking serious, I know you got the evidence, you are delaying, sometimes you don't put it up. Why did I go after Edwin Snow? Edwin Snow sat on the same platform and said that Western Cluster spent over $250 million.
I beg you, Fagon, hold on 1 minute. Guys, we love to have you on our network. We love your response, but do not insult anyone, not our dear counselor or anyone else. Please, let's just be civilized in having a good discussion. We can disagree to agree. But again, I will ask you, please, do not insult anyone. We hate to block you. But don't do that, please.
It's normal. The UP people, when you say something that they don't like, they start insulting you. That one, I know. Tell the people who do it. By the time you say people, the CDC people now, even people who some of the people who they will start writing it.
They get vexed for no reason and start insulting you. Uncommon conversation.
Somebody who are never around, you know something. Yeah,
What's about Fagon? Real quick, Fagon, and I hope Liberians listen tonight.
Anybody calls me
from Bombay. Snow from Bombay, right?
People are UP people. They don't want to do it.
I said me. Anybody calls me like Gonglo people.
Like, you from Bombay, Snow from Bombay. Why are you still hitting him so hard? I thought we were done. I thought you guys were mellow. But let's come to the issue. Why you went after Snow today?
No, me and Snow, we cool. Don't forget we went to school together. That man I can be calling Snow, that man in JU. And, the Jordan was fat and thin.
It's still fat, by the way.
It's still fat. My problem is some of our friends and brothers, sometimes they don't understand. And sometimes we feel bad for what happened. But it's hard to defend someone who is not defending themselves. Edwin Snow, you and I were here. And I'm looking up to you to admit. He sat on this platform and said 250 million had been spent chasing Western Cluster. Agree. He was angry. But he was the one who negotiated the contract with the Indian company and joined those people, Musadin, Samuel Twe, Kessler Morris, and Malwa Gray. To do what? To waive $14 million after confessing, knowing that we did not, as citizens of Bomi, we did not eat fasting from our resources. Fasting of the 250. But 3 days ago, for 3 days now, he's been showing his mansion, no house. That is not a house. Somewhere where car can park in.
Do you have the picture? We want to show the picture if you have it.
Let me when I get it.
Can you send?
Let me when I get it, but let me finish my thought. Let me when I get it. You hear what I say? If I'm going to say something, I'll show you. Okay. But again, like I said, we're trying. But when you show these kind of things, and I'm sending it to you right now, boom. I'm putting it in the producer room. I'm putting it in discussion. I'm putting it here. That's one. I'm sending the second one to you. When you do these kind of things and you put them out like that and you brag about it on your page, what are we supposed to do? And I will send the main one. Just be patient. I will send the main one from the area view. So you don't say, oh, you didn't send it from the top. The one with the room.
Yeah,
Okay?
but we understand that the main property. Do the connection.
No, wait a minute.
I want you
Wait
to
a
connect.
minute.
Connect.
The
We gotta
meanwhile,
go.
I want you to show the Liberian people is what I'm sending you now. And if you put it out with the plow, now we show ability. You guys are doing these things, but you are bragging about your mentions, and nobody can hold you accountable. So let's look at Western Cluster. You and everyone here agree that it was a bad deal.
Is this Western Cluster?
This is Western Cluster. Yeah, what's in there? Look at Mountain. Got the senator car there parking. See the 1, 2, 3 machine. The stealing
That's no car. That's no car there.
I know I can't see the plate, but it looks just like it. And the one you were saying I start carrying the trophy to Bommy. Look at how they digging iron ore. The hand, Lamco, and LMC then used to dig iron ore. Look at the cars they carry their agency that is legislator than cars. You see that? We told the people not to use our roads. They are using our roads. The money was sold. This is our iron ore. They got nothing there but 6 Indian people living in container. They built no school. They built no hospital. They've done nothing for our people. Look at containers. You see the containers there? Then all of that, you wave back to them 14 what? Million United States dollars. What did we benefit as a county? Look at it. Look at the dirty truck there. Huh? Look at the old tire then they put there. But from there, you show all your mansion. And you want us to see. You will put a mansion up. Anything you do to the standard, you will put a mansion up. And then when we see the mansion, we are going to put a one from the area view. The last one I sent you. I'm begging you, Papa. If you like God.
Yeah, continue talking. They're uploading it. This is wow.
Look at what you're looking at over there. President Salif called it opulence. Look at the mansion. Can you not see the car row going around the house? And the car can park inside the house? Do you not see the swimming pool? You weigh 14 million.
Is this Liberia though? Is this Liberia?
That is Liberia. That mansion is in the middle of a forest. That mansion is in the middle of a forest. And you wave our 14 million. And then you brag and you boast and you flash your mansion. And then when we tell you, say that government gets her, you get this. That is the presidential palace from 2024 going forward. We shall see. You get our 14 million.
Is this in Bommy?
This is in Bommy, bro. That place used to be formerly the Henry's Ranch. Richard Henry. His 2 sons, Winston and Abram. I used to go there and I used to play to that place and do stuff. You see? You do all they want. You show it, you boast, you brag. But our 14 million was given free of charge. Our hospital, nothing there.
So if I go, hold on 1 minute, because now we have to go.
School,
we have to hear from the others, and I want to involve the Liberian people in this one. I want, seriously, this is something. Gibson, you come in first, my brother. You come in first, Gibson. Who put this thing out? Can you take it down? All right, Gibson, can you help us, please? What's going on with our lawmakers?
First of all, Edwin Snow has been having money for a long time, whether he stole it or he owned it, but he has been having money for a long time. The house he built, the first house he built is just like that house. And the second house he built is more than that house. And that house happens to be the third in line of the houses he had built. But I don't believe that all the money he has had in his life were money that he honestly worked for. I believe he had taken money that is not belonging to him, that belonged to public corporations. When he worked at LPRC, the bank rolled the LPRC. And so when he was with Taylor, as a son-in-law of Taylor, he had the opportunity as a youth chairman of NPP. He had a lot of money because I interviewed him many times. So I know Snow very, very, very well from the day he came to Monrovia with Charles Taylor and the others. But I wanted to know, are you concerned about the house because he built it, or do you really believe that the $14 million was what he used to build a house?
Well, thank you for the, how should I call that kind of question? This one is not an intellectual question. It is what we call leading the witness or driving the narrative. I'm not going to play by that. What I do know is Edwin Snow was representative when the whole thing went on in our county. Then Edwin Snow became senator. Yeah. And Edwin Snow on this platform, Stanton is here. Stanton is the witness.
I watched the show. I watched that show.
Okay. So if you ask me the question, is this, you think the money he used to build this house? My friend, if you are going to waive $14 million to a company and then come back and finish this kind of mansion while our resources is being stolen right before your eyes, you think we're going to be blind to it? Unless, Gibson, you don't know.
No, that is a critical inference. I don't have a
That's
problem
what I'm
with
saying.
that.
Hold on, let me finish.
So Gibson, hold on. Fagon, hold on 1 minute. Fagon, I beg you, hold on. I like to put this up, Fagon. Fagon, we don't have Fagon, hold on 1 minute. So the guys are coming up and saying that this is very important. That's the list they were putting up. Western Cluster has only 10 employees on its direct employment.
Yes,
of the
sir.
10 employees, 8 are Indians and just
Yes,
2 are Liberians.
Yes,
so,
sir.
folks, let that balance this. Gibson, I know where you are coming from, though. The senator from Bomi County building mansions. You were able to negotiate that they cleared 14.5 million off and waive it, gave it back to the Indian people.
Yes.
He building homes, mansions. I'm not going to connect because Edwin Snow is Edwin Snow. Y'all can do your work. But you have only 2 Liberians. After you have given the people money to the Indians people, after you have given them all the hundreds of millions of dollars in resources, iron ore and other resources, guess what? You have only 2 Liberians. Yes, the list. Yes, the list. Mo Ali. with the people of Bomi, Bapolu, Kipman. Before I even get to Councillor Lamina coming from Bomi, Mo Ali, talk to us. You from Kipman.
Well,
look at this list. Look at what the people are doing, and look at the senator mansions that he just care less. He's enjoying.
Let me
you want to go first, Gibson? Gibson, go first. Go first, Gibson.
Yeah, let me respond to that. You know, the problem we have in our country is the inability of the relevant people to raise issue. Fagon is with us here in America and raising this issue. We have superintendents, we have other representatives, we have another senator, we have other prominent bombing citizens in Liberia, and they all sat there. I believe if they are not willing to say anything, they can be accused of colluding with Snow. Because if Snow received money and gave a chunk to the superintendent and gave a chunk to the other representative, everybody ate something, then they will not raise, because this is a very critical issue that Fagon has raised. And this issue of employment, this issue of employing people who are not from the county, I'm number one person who is against it. People bring they have people living in the county, but they bring other people from outside to come and work for them in the county.
That's what they did to us.
The citizens of that county, they make them poor and poorer. They take the resources and lead the people out. This is very
wrong. Thank you very much. I have to bring in Mo Ali and I have to bring in Councillor Paco. Mo, are you with us? You seem frozen, Mo. Mo Ali. All right, let me bring in the Councillor.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
All right, you go first, Mo. Go first, Mo. Then we'll bring in Councillor.
You mute me?
Yeah, and it happens that Councillor Kpagoitu is from Cape Mount, from the Western Cluster. You know, every time we talk about this entire Western Cluster thing, and not only the Western Cluster, but all of the mining companies in Liberia, particularly from our region, it hurts me even more. And I'm not going to discuss it from only the standpoint of one senator or so. Gibson put it rightly. When you put the three counties together, they have 6 senators. Those same 3 counties have 9 representatives. Interestingly, they really do not care. From my own Cape Mount, you know, the first time when I was county development officer, we went to talk to the people. By the time the gold mine they had not started, they were still doing their prospecting. When they had just discovered the real gold, the people told us that they were going to mine for 8 years. Within the first 6 years, Stanton, they were going to recover all of their expenses. They said they had previously discovered 1 million ounces of gold. And for the last 2 years of the 8, all they were doing, they were going to be making profit. What has that gold mine done for the people of Cape Mount? Environmental disaster. The other day we saw fish dying from the water. And those are the sources of living for our people. They go and fishing during the dry season, rainy season. We net different type of fishing to catch and sell and survive. This Bomi County is a victim of, how they used to call it, LMC or something?
Yes.
It's a victim of LMC to the extent that people started calling Bomi County Bomi World because they mined there for decades.
Yeah.
They didn't keep a zinc shack there. Bomi is one of the most underdeveloped counties within the entire Liberia. Again, Western Cluster has started mining there. This time around, for them to even carry the containers that at least Meta still has in Yekeba for people to live in, they only 10% because they do not want to spend. They are not transporting the iron ores by rail. They're transporting them by trucks. They transport them overnight in the trucks. What is Bomi benefiting? Nobody knows. You're not employing people. You're not building any infrastructure for the people. No health facility, no school. The country is benefiting nothing. But yet, those countries have leaders. And then you extend it to the country. What does the president even care? What does the legislature entirely care? As long as we can get small things from the mining, the concession companies, that's okay. And they don't care. So what we are doing in those countries is that effectively we are destroying what we have. That
to be continued next week.
Future generation to survive.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Mo. Let's bring in Councillor Lamine. Councillor, your area, Councillor.
Yeah, like Mo said, I'm from Cape Mount also. Both my parents are from Tewa district. My mother is from the southern side of Tewa, my father from the northern side of Tewa. In my village, my father's village, I should say, because I'm from both 2 different villages. In my father's village, there's the mining company. I think the same company that is in Kinjo. Mo, how do you call that company again?
I don't even know that name anymore.
Beer Mountain.
Okay, yeah. So they're there now. They've set up camp, and they're about to start to do some mining. But you know the problem in the country, we are our own worst enemies. That's the problem. And because people are poor, the people in the village, I went there. We didn't even know that our company was operating because we always go there during decoration day because our father is buried there. So we go there. And we went there a few years ago and saw this company had come in and someone brought an MOU that the company has signed with the people in the village. You would not believe some of the things that the people in the village were asking for. that tell you that we are our own worst enemies. They were not after the school. The school that is, is an elementary school that's in a bad state. They were not after that school being elevated to a better level and also renovated, and the teachers paid good money. They were not after that. They were after a football fee first. We are our own worst enemies. And those people in that village, even knowing that they have highly educated people from that village, they were not interested in letting us to know what kind of negotiations they were having with the company people. They would take a piece of paper. How can you negotiate with people who you and they are not on the same level? How can you do that? But because they were getting small money, that was the only thing that was of interest to them. And I mean, if we continue running this country like that, we're not going to make any progress. We're not going to make any progress. Liberia is a rent-seeking state, and because the government collects royalties from these companies, the government doesn't care. The government takes whatever royalty it collects from these people, and that's the reason why.
That's the issue. And exactly, that's the issue.
Yeah.
We gotta go, Counselor. We'll be back here again to discuss.
We have to change the mindset of our people. We have to move from being small-minded people to being people who are looking to improve our country, to improve our society. $1,000 a year, $2,000 there will not help. I mean, the gold of people extracting from their country and taking back to their country is benefiting them far more than the small rent they will pay to us. Far more.
So again, thank you very much, Counselor. We got to show these pictures because there you go, Liberians. That's your natural resources, the shipping. All right, millions of dollars in gold, diamond, iron, or whatever you can call it. This is where we are as a country. Give me a little bit, forget about my country. Me first, me, myself, and I, and we'll worry about the country later. This is exactly where we are, folks. I want you to call. We're going to take 10 calls straight because we got to go. We're going to take 10 calls. We're going to do our closing. And we want to say, now you're seeing what you're seeing. We finished talking about Musa Ability. Don't talk about him again. We talk about other part of the government. Let's talk about this bombing thing. You hear that Edwin Melvin Snow, Senator of bombing, he's building these mansions. Only thing you're not seeing it on the radio, but it's bigger than the mansion of the Republic of Liberia. Different mansions. I don't know who money it is, though. Maybe that the money Edwin Snow making from his farm, or maybe that the money he making as senator, maybe that the money he make from LPRC, but Edwin Snow building all these mansions, and well, it is what it is. You Liberians, you need to talk. What do you think? Do you deserve, if you're from Bomi, Kipma, Bapolu, do you deserve better? Is your life better now than 5 years ago? Let's talk. Back to the phone line, Chairman Barron. We're going to take 10 calls. Chairman?
Yes. Good evening.
Yeah.
Walk away from your monitor, please.
Yeah, this is Samuel from Dara.
All right, Samuel.
I say in the community as a politician or as a civil society actor. Then I tell Mr. Father that I cannot speak to this, go to the recording that was recorded during the time I spoke. So, do we ever get in studio? Because anytime you call any guest or politician to kind of discuss on or provide clarity to our people, the person can simply say, no, I don't have the time to clarify. Just go to the recording or go to the people who are around and ask them.
Thank you.
Somebody went in studio and asked, let me learn on this one second, Mr. Brown.
Okay.
See, somebody went in studio and asked the man, can you please provide clarity on your report on Jeremiah? And you said to the report, it is online. Are you kidding me? You know, if I go sit down for council, who's on the studio all day talking about equity, talking about prosperity, talking about the developmental agenda of Liberia, how to be on that so the country can move forward.
Thank you, comrade. Thank you. Thank you. We have to take 4 more calls. Then we can call it a day. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing there?
Yes, this is Spoon Talk.
Wonderful. This is Joseph Paul Cooper. I'm calling from District 8.
Moserado County.
Exactly.
Okay.
I just called to express my thanks and appreciation to the network and also express my disappointment over how things are proceeding on the network. Have you sat down and understood that the whole world depends on Spoon at night? You haven't. Eugene Facon were on the camp in Ghana. Casaprico. You can make noise when other people are talking. Tonight they're talking about bombing. You're very serious and to the point. Please cut off the joke. You have a lot of professional journalists that are following you at night from various countries across the world. Please discuss the issue.
Okay.
Get about the time that the press take hold of the issue regarding integrity about Liberia. Our resources being plundered. And we're not going to let this go.
Thank you, my dear brother.
There's a wake-up call to all of you on the phone network. Please
I'm not understanding the matter.
That is going to understand and know the next way forward.
Okay, thank you. 3 more calls. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon. I'm Kamara calling from Chicota.
Yes.
Okay. The whole thing getting baffled us. One NIA commission, of course, beyond the responsibility. One NIA commission, he told the people today, responsibility are now paid for 5 years. That for now, beginning up to now, like 10 years ago, they got to know, Musabi paid 5. He don't get that for 5 years, setting down his business. That means the government is the NIA boss, is significant big. And so 5 years, you don't have on take Tuesday.
All right,
my dear. It's a complete nonsense.
2 more, then we can call it a day. Hello? Yes?
This is Asumana Abdullah calling you from Adona Street.
Yes.
I would like to have you talk about the network. They're raining heavily here. The caller just said it all. This is about Liberia. Are you with me? I'm true?
Yes, we are listening.
This is Liberia. Now only bombing, now only came up. And we are going to school as educated people, understanding the way in which our country is being exported. We have no supposition our resources are being extracted in the country. We should get to the people to know how you will agree before the extraction of the resources. You shouldn't get have it as a talk show. Don't get back to them. Only for Kema, the council is to them. What tell the truth? You shouldn't come pay for all. You ain't get it. How will you say the poor in the bombing Kema? I don't know how they will do it. The one with the revenue of the extraction of the resources in there. You tell the truth. Somehow we want to measure back up. And we cannot see the country going to the way. From my brother, I will say I am the country. I will tell you seriously,
You think no, you can say you think I mean against your own country.
All right, so let's go. We will not take that. No taking arm, folks. No taking arm. But thank you, Byron. Thank you very much. We want to wrap this thing up. We want to say thanks to everyone. We know it's very, very heated. Again, folks, we will not do it to your liking, but we appreciate you joining us every evening that we can have a wonderful time on Spoon Talk. This is your program. This is your show. Again, we can announce that on Friday, Senator from Maryland County, Senator James Bynum, would be our guest. Again, the topic says, well, they're going to unleash him. He about to speak for a very long time. He have not spoken to the nation in this form, but he's coming to be a guest for Spoon, and it will be powerful. We want to say we tell you thank you, everyone. Bobby T, Angeline Williams, Jennifer Scott Zuba, Frankly Conan Ware, Nimadid Volker, Frankly Maxi Blay, Sedewan Jepo, everybody, Sia Lule. We want to say thank you very much, and all our many followers. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Let's wrap this thing up. Tomorrow will be a powerful one. Tomorrow is Thursday, and we will talk more about the government, about political party, and the way forward for Liberia. As always, may God bless you. May God keep you as we close the program for tonight. Let's do Gibson. You want to go first? We're going to hold the counselor for last, because if he go first, he runs. So we're holding for last. We get 8 more minutes. We know your trade counselor.
No, but it's late. It's late in Morovia, so we should be nice to him.
No, I know. No, but we got 8 more minutes. Let's wrap this thing up.
Okay. For me, first of all, I don't know where the guys have issue with Lamy, but I don't think Lamy is the problem. I want to ask the Spoon Network to invite Mr. Miame to come back in the capacity of speaking to this report. It is important. Central is a respected organization in Liberia. And if they come up with a report and it's challenged by the person who they are reporting on, it is incumbent upon them to provide clarity to the public, because that's how people respect the organization. We cannot hold the organization in high esteem, and at the same time, they are doubt over their reports, and they cannot come to explain it. There are some people who are even educated, but don't even have internet. I know several people who are helped to do internet work for them. They don't even have computers. So these people cannot go online to see everything. And like Fagon said, there are like 3 radio stations that are relaying this broadcast. That means a lot of people are hearing it. It's a good opportunity for Mr. Miame to set straight his facts and hammer home the issue that he reported on. And I also want to say that the Bomi Legislative Caucus, even as well as the Kema Legislative Caucus, they should be concerned about this. Mr. Snow cannot manipulate everything in the county. If he is manipulating everything and all the lawmakers are quiet, all the superintendents, the assistant superintendent, all the officials, all the sons and daughters are all quiet about it, it tells me that it looks like everybody's afraid of Snow. It shouldn't be that way. People should come up. I mean, for example, Mr. Fagon will be construed differently because he and Snow had a few before. So the thing, maybe some people think when he raised issue like that, oh, he's going after Snow because he doesn't like Snow. He's jealous of Snow. So let other people also speak. Let them know. Let them say the things they know, so that it can also benefit the people in Bomi County. And let me just say that one more time. This thing happened to Grand Jeddah, okay? The mountain in Grand Jeddah was originally Jeddah Mountain. When Madam Salif came to power, they changed the name to different name.
Just some kind of margin. Thank you, sir. We got to run. We are pressed against time, Mr. Gibson. Mr. Mo, Adi, can you join me? Can you do your closing? And we'll bring in the counselor, Mo.
Well, my closing is actually going to be on this entire Western cluster thing. I am very disgusted. We started talking about it, but like Lamy said, it is a huge battle for us. Because the first thing is, when you begin to talk and ask the people to reject these things, they ask you, oh, how we'll do it, what we're going to do. But all of those communities, Cape Mount is one of the counties noted Bomi for producing some of the educated people in this country. And they know there are children that are educated from there. But when these people go to negotiate, I mean, you go negotiate, you ask for football, town hall, and all those kind of stuff. How does it benefit the community? So for me, I want to send a direct message to our people. Because when they go, they ask for the chiefs, the people who live in there, that the people, we are all from there. We need to know what's happening. It can just be you go, you dig the play, you mine everything. Those things will finish. They are not replaceable resources. When it's gone, it's gone. You're not coming there. They're not tree one. When you call it down, you can plant another one, it grow. They will take all the iron ores, they will take the diamonds, they will take the gold. Your children will have nowhere to live. They will have nothing to benefit from. It is good to start to involve your children in these negotiations, or else other people will keep benefiting. The other countries are developing on our resources, and we are just backward. What they do, they come and bring NGOs and give you handouts, and you take it to be something good. We need to kick against it. We need to stand up, but it also lies with us to begin to educate our people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mo. Councillor? Councillor, we're not hearing you.
Poverty in this country has made us to lose our self-dignity. And the once proud people in the interiors of this country are totally lost. They've totally lost their dignities. We were in a village recently, my brothers, my sisters, and myself were in a village recently, and a confusion ensued between different factions in the village because of the same money, the same company issue. So I think there was some money on the line, and one group was saying the money should not be paid to this other group, and another group was saying the money should not be paid to this other group. Because this village was established by our grandfather, when we got there that day, one of the groups wanted us to join them in our nonsense they were on. And I told my brother, I said, but this thing doesn't make any sense. Why should we get involved on either side of this thing? When these people are talking to these people to collect money from them, they do not involve us at all. Because they probably think that when we get involved in the conversation, then the money that should come to them all won't come to them. They don't realize that they get far less than what they would have gotten if they had equals at the table negotiating. We have to change that mindset. We have to move our people. We have to return dignity in the people in the country. We have to get away from the rent-seeking attitude where when someone gets a little bit of money, then the person forgets about every other thing and think that the future will bring its own. Today, we live for today and forget about tomorrow. We have to change that. We have to change the mindset of our people. And more importantly, we have to demand that our government negotiates on behalf of this country properly. We elect these lawmakers, they go in there, and they only self-seek. The only thing they're interested in is what they will bring to themselves, what they will put in their pocket, and how they will build a very nice house. That's all they're interested in. And then they take a little bit of that money and go around giving people scholarships and buying food for some people, and people think that those people are the best people around. We have to change that narrative. And we can only change that narrative if we change the way we run our government. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Lame. We appreciate you. Let me do my closing, and Fagon will take us home. It is indeed a wonderful program. We appreciate you, our fellow Liberians. We are of all sides. In position, out position, no position. CDC, Unity Party, CPP, Mr. Gonglo Party, that will be what, LPP, right, Councillor Lame?
Yeah, Liberian People's Party.
Liberian People's Party and all the other political parties. We want to say, make your case. John Spoon, lawmakers, individual, make your case. We speak directly to the Liberian people. We speak the language. We tell them the truth. Because for me, I have no fish to fry. Someone called me a few days ago and said, Stanton, don't burn the bridge for 2029. I told them, please burn it. Burn that bridge for 2029. We are talking about now. We are talking about the fierce urgency of now to help our country, that our country will be a better place, that we can live and our children can go back home and say, yes, we enjoy our time spent in Liberia. Liberia is the place that they will not deport you as a Liberian. Liberia is a place that where you one day you will walk free. You will walk without being afraid that somebody will snatch your bag. Look on the street. Look at Zogos. Look at our fellow Liberians dying and calling for help every day. Is your life better today than 5, 6 years ago? Are you satisfied under this government, under President George Manawia government? Are you okay? Have you gotten paid? Where is Samuel Tuet today? Ask yourself. Folks, it's now. It's now. Tomorrow may be too late. Right now, at this given time, don't hit me because I'm speaking to my fellow Liberians. Let's discuss the issue. Let's talk about the economies. Do we have one? Do we have an economy system in the country? No. Surplus. Surplus what? Surplus of waste. That's all the government can offer you as a Liberian. Bad healthcare system, bad education, bad school system. Trust me, go to school. No after school program. If it rains, you sit in the rain to obtain your education. Bad roads. Look at our one and only international airport. It's worse. Look at the system. 5 years. 5 years, my people. And all we ask you, make a sound decision. If you decide to take President Weah back, go ahead. It's your choice. If you want to change, find somebody else. But right now we say to you, think about your children. Think about your grandparents, your own parents. Think about your life. I heard the other day at JFK, they are now positioning two baby moms on the same bed. That's how serious they have gotten. If you are pregnant and you're going to give birth, you go to JFK hospital or other hospital. After you give birth, the two mothers will sleep on the same queen small bed. Our country is draining. Our country is dying. Don't die along with the country. The lawmakers can build the mansions. Folks can decide not to pay the road funds or pay the taxes. That's the system they found themselves in because they work with this government. That's the language the government speak. Can we have a hero? Can we have someone that can change the system? Can we have someone that will say no and the no is no and the yes is yes? Look around in your community. Look around at the ministry. No one go to work anymore. It's a lame duck system of government. Everybody stay home. Why are you going to work? You won't get paid. It's a waste of time. Folks, join us. Let's make the case for a better Liberia. Whether it's JMB or whosoever, whether it's Komis, whether it's Tewon Gonglo, let's make the case of a better Liberia. Liberia is all you have. Think, love Liberia, and make the case for Liberia because Liberia is all you have. I would beg you, it's nothing personal. Don't insult us. We are just here to encourage you that Liberia remains strong. And for a better Liberia, you must be strong. Thank you for joining Spoon always. We love you. The Honorable Minister Eugene Lami Fagon will take us home. Thank you, Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Tenton, and my closing will be very short. There are times when we come on this platform, and I like what you did when you said people should not insult anyone, especially those that were trying to insult Lami for his view. I listened to one of the callers, and you said, and I quote, "I'm confused. What is this guy saying?" He was none other than Joseph Boy Copeland, somebody that I got to know in Ghana. We were all refugees. In my closing, I am saying to Liberians, if you cannot help a cause, don't destroy it. I've been fighting this Western cluster thing. I joined with a group of people. We raised money. We went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled that a lower court should be the one to handle this case. Therefore, they were sending us back down to the lower court. I told my people that it is difficult for us to fight such a big company with the best friend of the company, Edwin Melvin Snow, at the helm of it. Therefore, let us wait, vote right, and have the new government. We will get justice. The world was watching. Again, Joseph Boy Copper, who's ran in the election and is running again in the election, did not help us to fight. He has one of the good nightclubs on 9th Street. But again, you are running in elections and you say we are sitting on spoon and we're making fun and we're joking, the whole world watching us. And you're supposed to be a candidate that we're supposed to take serious to run. Amen. At the end of the day, this Western Cluster case we're talking about, I brought it up again today, provided the pictures, and again decided that we discuss it. You come, you look at all of us distinguished gentlemen here, you say we're joking, it's not a place for fun. My friend, the only thing I can say, finally in my closing, submitting to you, if this is what you call joke, then I'm afraid that your candidacy in District 9 or 8 is a complete comedy show. And woe betide you for saying, I'm not speaking on behalf of the network. You can rest assured, I will go after you politically to find out what you are worth. And if you are substantive enough as a candidate to lead the people in that district. Because if you cannot even listen and learn from a common platform, I don't think you can listen and learn in the legislature. But we as Liberians, whether it be Gonglo, JMB, and others, we're always looking for a common ground. And hopefully, all of our resources, as in the case of ArcelorMittal, they did not build schools, they did not build hospitals, they didn't do anything. Let's go to Western Cluster, same old. China Union, same old. The Liberian people are waiting for October 10. Beer Mountain, MMG Gold, all of these people, Golden Verolium, please go ahead. Enjoy yourself. You got 4 more months. After that, the right president will be inaugurated into office, and those to be held accountable will be held accountable. Thankfully, we got lawyers like Lamik Pagoy. We got Tiawan Gonglo, who many of us say it will probably be the next justice minister. My candidate is very compassionate and very good. Joseph Boakai will take the best people, and I'm sure Honorable Joseph Boakai will not hesitate to use the expertise of Tiawan Gonglo. He is the incoming president.
Let me hear the man giving Tiawan Gonglo justice minister position.
No, I said he will not hesitate to consider him for that position. I didn't say you would give it to him.
I mean, when I hear you, that's quite a bad guy. You hearing the man saying
Gonglo wanted to be justice minister or even chief justice. If Councilor Gonglo wanted to be chief justice, he was going to be the chief justice.
Gibson, they made a bad man. You said the man will be justice minister. I want to ask the Liberian people, what you bow? So you tell the man from being president not to be justice minister.
The man resigned as a labor minister. The man resigned as a labor minister.
Let me finish. Please, let me finish.
Justice.
I have 30 more seconds. Let me finish. So,
you just threw a raw meat to us.
Has always used the broom to wipe up corruption. Now that we know ArcelorMittal, Western Cluster, MMG Co, when Ambassador Joseph Newman Boakai takes over in January of 2024, he might be considered to help Ambassador Boakai fight corruption. He is actually on that list, I'm told, and we welcome him. And we know for a fact that Joseph Newman Boakai will take the best, as he is now poised to become the next president of the Republic of Liberia. I respectfully submit.
Paco, let me get you the last minute, man. Don't let this guy run with that thing.
No, we can't let him run.
Councilor Gonglo was offered to be Associate Justice of the Supreme Court when Mr. Salif took over. he elected to be Solicitor General because he thought that where he could make changes in his country, and he succeeded in making changes there. Right now, Councillor Gonglo is running to be president of Liberia because we have to change the dynamics of politics in this country. We have to change the dynamics of governance in this country. We have to bring transparency and accountability to governance. That's the reason why he's running for president. Otherwise, if he was sitting there thinking that he want to be justice minister, he would not be running for president.
We're
So
not.
this-
We're considering
somebody.
him for an attorney
But
general position.
because Councillor Gonglo has realized, and the rest of us have realized that in order to bring change to this country, you got to be at the top. There's no
That's
way.
not true.
There's no way. I mean, Mrs. Salif said all the things she used to stem people think bullshit. At the end of the day, she came to power. What happened? Huh? If you're not
I
at
don't
the
know about
top
Madam
in
Salif.
this
You're going to
country,
talk about JMB.
if you're not at the top in this country,
talking about JMB, let
you're
me
not
come here a
going to be
little
able to
bit.
change this society.
My man will finish on the show. No, guys, we're finished. Listen, Mr. Gibson, keep that talk. Keep that talk for next week. For
Give me 10
tomorrow.
minutes, man. 10 minutes,
Yeah,
man. 10
not
minutes.
10 minutes.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds. You're talking about JMB. You know, when we come here, we are trained not to go against opposition as if we are going against the government. But
That's true.
JMB presidency is like making Alari Toba president, Kesali president, Gafwan president, and Mo Ali president, because the old man will be at the house. Why you people are eating the money in the executive mansion?
The old man will be at the house. Joe Parker can be to the house. Joe Parker can be to the house.
I would say this to you, Gibson, real quick right now. It's so surprising. This late, Jose Yima Boyka is having a meeting with the Lofa caucus. This late. I don't know why Mo Ali is not there. As late as it is, the old man is engaging.
The old man move at night.
Let me say something quickly. You know, Gibson, you woke me up. I work directly in JMB's office.
I know.
And before I'm there, 8:30, he's already there, sitting waiting. He has meetings throughout the day and in the night sometimes. Yeah, Stanton is right. He's having, because you know there are some issue with the UP convention in Lofa, and the party just push it on and they say, okay, since Lofa is for you, solve that other problem. Tonight he's having meeting. I
was saying this to you, and I asked JMB, I said, why are you not resting? He said, nephew, I can't rest. And the people here at my house, we have a meeting right now. I could hear the voices. So let me say this to you. It's not a joke, folks. Everybody need that time. Everybody need that time to give chance, you know. Again, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless you.
Gibson, start living with the reality that JMB is the next president.
We'll talk tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, this is how I love to take leave of you. The invitation is yours to join us tomorrow, 8 o'clock local time, when we will be here with another splendid edition of the program, Spoon Talk. My name is Byron Brown. Do have a God bless night for mine. Bye-bye.
Yeah.